Chapter 1821. The originally furious fire god had calmed down because they were in the wrong and had their evidence tightly seized. The divine hall gods here all knew the penalty heavenly god's temperament. If the penalty heavenly god were to investigate, then even the divine hall gods would suffer, not to mention the divine hall gods that were imprisoned in the divine prison s. Penalty heavenly god and devil-killing heavenly god were walking in front, leading Ren Tianyong's group of exhausted disciples towards the highest level of the devil-killing divine palace. Devil-killing heavenly god seemed to be indifferent to the reward of first place, as if he knew what the reward was. Walking on the road, Wang Jinshi said to Chen Shang, "What happened just now? When did you learn how to use the god-murdering sword techniques? You are learning it too quickly, right?" "I don't know either. In short, I used it in a moment of desperation," Chen Shang responded. He was also extremely shocked by that sword strike, because the effect had already exceeded his expectations. If he still wanted to use it now, it might not be possible to perfectly unleash it. Wang Jinshi continued to send a sound transmission to Chen Shang, and she was unable to understand Chen Zhang's words. "How could you not know? I understand the god-murdering sword techniques the best." Chen Shang also felt that it was very strange. At this time, he suddenly remembered that he could unleash an extremely powerful sword technique just because of the sword, and that it was all because of the divine deity. The divine deity that the white tiger used to create killing god heart was still very mysterious to this day. Although he had asked Feng Yuji before, Feng Yuji still could not say that the heavenly alchemy came from that divine deity. Was a little worried. Previously, Qi had already told him that he had completed refining the divine deity, but now that the divine deity was able to produce such power, allowing him to suddenly unleash the powerful god-murdering sword techniques, it seemed like a good thing, but if he did not know what was going on, in Chen Zhang's eyes, it was a hidden threat. Could it be that within the divine deity, there is still the god-murdering sword techniques? Who exactly is the owner of the divine deity, to actually cultivate two types of taboo magic at the same time? Chen Shang felt that he needed to understand this matter clearly. Otherwise, the first divine deity he had fused with would be a hidden danger that could even destroy him. "We'll talk about it in the future, but I still have to thank you. If you didn't act just now, I would have been exposed. At that time, I might even drag out my sword godfather's story." Wang Jinshi was extremely grateful to Chen Shang. No need to thank me. Anyway, I'm already used to this kind of thing." Chen Shang didn't feel anything, and now, the time to start the war with the Hell Divine Palace was getting closer and closer. Previously, the devil-killing heavenly god had already declared war on him twice, and it wouldn't be long before he declared war on him thrice. Chen Shang and the others arrived at the highest level. There was nothing here other than an empty, huge stone room. There was also a huge skylight window. "What's the reward?" The fat fifth looked around. There was nothing. This reward was not what he expected. Devil-killing heavenly god suddenly became serious and said, "You may not be able to accept this reward, and at that time you may choose not to accept it." Seeing the faces of the disciples filled with disdain, the devil-killing heavenly god said in a stern voice, "All of you listen carefully. The outside world rumors say that there are 10 disciples in the first batch, and all of the 4 of you see now are the youngest disciples. The other 6 are all dead, and because of this reward, the strength of the 6 disciples is similar to mine, but they, Father, didn't you say that they went out to train and went to the super god restricted area? They were carrying out your mission there, and they are much stronger than us, so how could they possibly die?" Zhu Chao looked as if he had been struck by lightning. They were all junior brothers and junior sisters. Devil-killing heavenly god let out a long sigh. "The 4 of you are the second batch. They are only the first batch." Penalty heavenly god patted devil-killing heavenly god on the shoulder. "My sons have also gone to do the same. It seems like young people have more courage than us." Seeing penalty heavenly god's lonely and sorrowful appearance, Ren Tianyong and the others were even more shocked. The sons of penalty heavenly god were definitely very strong, but they had never heard of them. "The first prize is to send us to our deaths." Xiao Chou suddenly clenched his fists, and became excited. "I understand, that must be some kind of test." The penalty heavenly god stared at Xiao Chou. "That's right. Do you know why the god's realm didn't have the Hall of Hercules?" Wang Jinshi suddenly said in a low voice, "Could it be the Supreme Divine Palace's training exercise?" Regarding the Supreme Divine Palace, Zhu Chao and the others had all heard about it, probably only Xiao Chou did not have it. The penalty heavenly god nodded his head. "You all have a chance to enter the Supreme Divine Palace, but you have to pass the trial. If you fail, you all will die." Devil-killing heavenly god turned around with his back facing Chen Shang and the others. If you guys were to go with your current strength, honestly speaking, you would definitely be courting death. Last time, the ones going to the competition would be the Divine Hall disciples that were in the top 10. So you guys have to consider this carefully. There is only this one chance. Otherwise, if you want to enter the Supreme Divine Palace in the future, it will be difficult for you to have the chance. Xiao Chou asked, why do you want to enter this Supreme Divine Palace? I don't understand. Could it be that after entering, you become very strong? The penalty heavenly god said, the Supreme Divine Palace is also known as the Supreme God Hall, and only by entering the Supreme Divine Palace can one become a god. As for why, I'm not too sure, but in these past few years, no matter how hard we've tried, we have been unable to become a god. I'm not going. Wang Jinshi immediately shook her head, and looked at Chen Shang. Looking at her eyes, she did not wish for Chen Shang to go, and she knew that Chen Shang had the Supreme God Bone. Chen Shang definitely had this thought, because he would be able to quickly become a strong warrior after entering the Supreme Divine Palace. Even such powerful gods would die if they were to go, let alone profound goddess who had yet to become gods, so Ren Tianyang and the others immediately expressed their intentions and did not plan to do anything. This was because they were only profound god now. Right now, everyone looked at Zhu Chao and his wife. They had already discussed about it through sound transmission and shook their heads. Just now, they had seen Penalty Heavenly God and his son feeling sad because of losing their disciples, so they did not plan to go anymore. Other than Chen Shang and Xiao Chou, he had already decided to not go. I'll go, Chen Shang and Xiao Chou suddenly shouted. No, Xiao Chou possessed the Titan God's bloodline, while Chen Shang had trained in the heavenly alchemy and god-murdering sword techniques. Both of them were good seedlings. If they were to go, there was no possibility of survival. Although Chen Shang possessed the Supreme God Bone, his current strength was too lacking. Xiao Chou curled his lips. I still thought that we could make our own decisions. Chen Shang said with a resolute expression, we want to give it a try. You are trying with your life, you must not go. Devil-killing heavenly god glared at Chen Shang. Just as devil-killing heavenly god finished this sentence, the entire all-divine palaces suddenly shook. The penalty heavenly god frowned and said softly, Devil Slayer, if Supreme Divine Palace knows that you have stopped my disciple from going there to train, you should be well aware of the consequences. Devil-killing heavenly god snorted, his face full of anger. He did not expect that Chen Shang and Xiao Chou, the two weakest among them, would actually decide to go to that kind of place. Penalty heavenly god took out two golden-colored insignia and handed it over to Chen Shang and Xiao Chou. You two should drip blood. After that, the trial will begin. If you two are unable to go to the trial grounds within 10 years, you will die. Xiao Chou smiled as he received the order badge. He immediately dripped with blood and chuckled, there are still 10 years. That is enough time. There were still 10 years. In the eyes of these gods who had lived for many years, it was just a blink of an eye, but it was enough time for Chen Shang to make preparations to challenge the Supreme Divine Palace for his trial. After Chen Shang dripped blood on the Golden Order badge, he would be able to use his consciousness to look at the map inside it. He and Xiao Chou were going to go to the training field within 10 years. Your training field is not the same. Don't think that you can join hands. When the time comes, you will have no one to rely on and you can only charge in by yourself. The devil-killing heavenly god said. Xiao Chou gave an, look, his face full of disappointment. He had thought that he could go with Chen Shang. Hi, the first place reward is too boring. Originally, he thought that he could get something good. Yuan Bibing laughed, no wonder Master wants to bet with the god of fortune. So it turns out that first place is simply not going to get anything good. Don't be happy too early, we still need to fight with the Hell Divine Palace. We don't have much time left, quickly go back and rest. Devil-killing heavenly god glanced at Ren Tianyang and the others. Yes, Chen Shang and the others answered in unison. After returning to the devil-killing divine city, the disciples there had already made preparations to attack the Hell Divine Palace at any time. This time, they would be able to obtain first place and increase the morale of the devil-killing divine palace. Chen Shang and Wang Jinshi were called to his floor by the devil-killing heavenly god, wanting to talk to them alone. Obviously, they wanted to talk about killing Huo Liao and Huo Lai. The most important thing was the god-murdering sword techniques. Chen Shang was more worried about it. He was worried that the devil-killing heavenly god would force him to tell them that the god-murdering sword techniques was something that Wang Jinshi had taught him. Wang Jinshi and Chen Shang fearfully sat in the living room of the devil-killing heavenly god. The devil-killing heavenly god put on a set of grey robes and slowly walked out to sit at the leader's seat. This time, he performed very well. He was able to obtain 5 pearls and even killed 2 of the Fire Divine Palace's outstanding war gods. Devil-killing heavenly god's face sank. You guys were not efficient at all, you actually exposed the god-murdering sword techniques. Chapter 1822. Chen Shang and Wang Jinshi thought that the devil-killing heavenly god would blame them for learning the god-murdering sword techniques, but who would have known that the devil-killing heavenly god would say such things? The consequences won't be too serious, right? Chen Shang asked softly. He was worried that the devil-killing heavenly god would kick him out of the devil-killing divine palace because of this. Devil-killing heavenly god replied, that's for sure. It's just like how the Hell Devil Emperor went to all over the place to kill you. However, it's not only the divine gods that want to catch you. Wang Jinshi felt guilty, because she knew very well how serious the consequences would be. Chen Shang sighed helplessly. Why is the attraction of this god-murdering sword technique so great? Devil-killing heavenly god looked at Wang Jinshi and smiled. Just ask her and you'll find out. Asking Wang Jinshi, Chen Shang and Wang Jinshi were both shocked. The reason the devil-killing heavenly god said such a thing must be because he knew about Wang Jinshi. Master, you already know. Who told you? When did you know? Since it was like this, Wang Jinshi could only admit it. I knew about it the day you became my disciple. Don't think that I don't know anything, I just didn't expect you to pass this god-murdering sword techniques to Chen Shang. Devil-killing heavenly god snickered. In other words, your relationship is not ordinary. Wang Jinshi blushed and changed the topic. Chen Shang, the greatest attraction of the god-murdering sword techniques is not just its ease of cultivation, but rather, cultivation of the god-murdering sword techniques to step into the realm of the supreme god. Although this is a legend, many Empyrean gods believe it without question. The devil-killing heavenly god nodded his head. Back then Wang Hao had told me that he would quickly become the supreme god. However, this fellow is too good at causing trouble, and after being informed that he would soon become the supreme god, many Empyrean gods teamed up to send him to hell. I participated in the punishment at that time, even though we were once good friends with Wang Hao. Wang Jinshi sighed softly. I know, because father's cultivation went berserk, looking everywhere for a powerful god to train in the sword. However, he didn't hurt those Empyrean gods. Quote. Devil-killing heavenly god said. Penalty heavenly god and I had fought with him before. Even though we lost to him, we were not hurt by him. At that time he was still very rational, but later on, for some reason, he suddenly changed and became crazy. In order to prevent him from bringing disaster to God's realm, we decided to do so. It's because he's about to become too divine very soon. If he was still in that state back then, it would have been very difficult to stop him. Devil-killing heavenly god stood up, and gently stroked Wang Jinshi's head. The one who used the god-murdering sword techniques to kill Huo Lai, should be you, right? Penalty heavenly god and devil-killing heavenly god were actually acting before. Penalty heavenly god was watching what was happening inside. Although god-murdering sword techniques belongs to the ancient art of the supreme realm, it is easy to go berserk to the extreme. For example, Wang Hao is an example. The devil-killing heavenly god looked at Chen Shang with furrowed brows and said solemnly, the 4 great taboo magics, they are all primordial divine arts, these are all unorthodox techniques that flowed out of the supreme divine palace. They are powerful, but not many have learned them. It's easy to be bewitched with heavenly alchemy. Chen Shang, you train in 2 such cultivation techniques. This will make it easier for you to be bewitched with these techniques. Devil-killing heavenly god laughed. My 7 devils slain Kung Fu is also considered a primordial spirit art. As long as I can comprehend what's after, I can also enter the realm of the primordial spirit with the 7 devils slain Kung Fu, and I won't become bewitched. Master, I want to rescue my father. What do I need to do? Wang Jinshi suddenly said. He has been in there for a long time, he should have already recovered. When Wang Jinshi asked about this, the smile on devil-killing heavenly god's face suddenly disappeared. He's imprisoned in the divine prison, and even the penalty heavenly god doesn't know how he is right now. How can you guarantee that? If we save him, he'll be in a state of madness, so who can be responsible for it? Although the Supreme Divine Palace will intervene, a guy on the level of the Supreme God can cause serious harm just by messing around here for a moment. This was what the devil-killing heavenly god was worried about. Wang Jinshi sighed lightly. I only found out after seeing him because of some things regarding my mother. As long as I can help him get rid of the knot in his heart, he can return to his original appearance. The devil-killing heavenly god shook his head. It's very difficult for you to see him, even the penalty heavenly god does not have that power. Back then, he had sealed a supreme god into the divine prison, unless you had a way to find that supreme god. Chen Shang and Wang Jinshi had thought that as long as they had enough divine money, they would be able to redeem the sword god. Then where is the supreme god? Wang Jinshi asked. Supreme Divine Palace. The devil-killing heavenly god patted Chen Zhang's shoulder. If you can enter the Supreme Divine Palace, you might be able to meet that primordial god. Whether he can undo the seal or not, I don't know. When Wang Jinshi had first passed down the god-murdering sword techniques to Chen Shang, he had made her promise to save the sword god, so Chen Shang would definitely do this. I will definitely enter the Supreme Divine Palace. Chen Shang was filled with confidence in himself. Devil-killing heavenly god paced back and forth a few steps, then sat down and sighed. Even though you possess the supreme god bone, it's still hard to say. Unless you're a god, it might be easier to pass. Chen Shang still had 10 years left. It was impossible for the gods to do that, but it was still possible for him to become the profound god. No matter what happens now, I can't turn back. Chen Shang smiled. He did not feel any pressure at all. With things having escalated to this point, devil-killing heavenly god could not say any more. He could only give Chen Shang and Xiao Chou the greatest help within these 10 years, making them even more powerful in these 10 years. The reason the devil-killing heavenly god called Chen Shang and her here was to talk about the god-murdering sword techniques. He wanted Wang Jinshi to continue to keep the matter of her being the daughter of the sword god a secret, so he had no choice but to use the god-murdering sword techniques. This was all to prepare for war with the Hell Divine Palace, and the third declaration of war would be carried out very soon. At that time, regardless of whether the Hell Divine Palace accepted it or not, the devil-killing Divine Palace would still be able to call him over. Chen Shang was looking forward to this big battle, but devil-killing Divine Palace had something else to ask him to do, and obviously didn't want him to participate in it. You go to the all Divine Palaces to find the penalty heavenly god. After you find him, he has something he wants you to do. However, devil-killing heavenly god's tone was very resolute, so Chen Shang could only follow his plan. When Chen Shang came to all divine palaces himself, he changed his appearance and came. However, penalty heavenly god recognized him immediately. After penalty heavenly god saw that Chen Shang had bowed to him, he only nodded slightly and had Chen Shang follow him into a transmission array inside the all divine palaces and transfer him to a wooden house in the forest. This is my residence. It's very safe. Although his face was solemn, his tone was very calm. I have something that I want you to do. The Devil Slayer should have told you. Penalty heavenly god took out a black box and placed it on the table beside him. Chen Shang said. He only said that he wanted me to come find you, and didn't tell me what I wanted to do. Penalty heavenly god opened the black box. Inside was a black dagger. There are some hidden things within this black dagger. Only by cultivating the heavenly alchemy can I see the hidden information within. Help me take a look and see exactly what's inside. Penalty heavenly god handed the box over to Chen Shang with difficulty. Chen Shang picked up the black dagger. He didn't feel anything special about it, it couldn't even be considered a divine equipment. If you can help me, I will repay you. You might need some time, so stay with me for this period of time. After penalty heavenly god finished speaking, he did not care if Chen Shang agreed or not, and quickly left. Chen Shang shook his head and sighed. It was hard for him to reject it even if he wanted to, so he repeatedly looked at the black dagger, and even probed into it with his divine power, but there was no reaction at all. He felt that he was playing with a rock picked up from the side of the road. Don't tell me I have to use the heavenly alchemy to refine this short sword. Chen Shang could only speculate like this, because penalty heavenly god had previously said that only by cultivating the heavenly alchemy would one be able to see the hidden secrets. Although Chen Shang had this thought, he didn't dare because he was worried that he would not be able to find the hidden secrets inside if he failed to practice it properly. He had tried hard for an entire day but to no avail. It was already dark now and he was resting on a comfortable chair in the hall. On the morning of the second day, when Chen Shang heard penalty heavenly god's voice, he opened his eyes and saw that penalty heavenly god had brought a plate of fruits and placed it on the table beside Chen Zhang's chair. Let that girl out, the penalty heavenly god said. You know that? Asked in shock. Penalty heavenly god was indeed talking about Long Shuiyi, and Long Shuiyi immediately came out of the ring. Of course I know. The azure dragon is my friend. The plate of fruits that Penalty Heavenly God had brought was obviously prepared for Long Shui. Long Shui sweetly smiled as she thanked him, then unceremoniously started to eat. When Penalty Heavenly God talked about the azure dragon, Chen Shang and Long Shui also wanted to know about his situation inside the divine prison. Did you get anything yesterday? Seeing that Chen Shang wanted to speak, the Penalty Heavenly God interrupted him. No, I think I'll have to use the heavenly alchemy to refine it before I know. I'm worried that I might have broken it, so I didn't dare to make a move. Chen Shang handed the black dagger over to Penalty Heavenly God. The Penalty Heavenly God did not receive it, saying, "Don't worry and refine it. This short sword looks like it was made from ordinary black stone, but it's not afraid of the flames burning it. I have used my flames to burn it for decades, but still unable to incinerate it." Today, he didn't have much time to hang out with his family. Chapter 1823. Even using fire, the Penalty Heavenly God was unable to incinerate it. This black stone sword was actually so sturdy, Chen Shang had thought it was just an ordinary black stone. How is the azure dragon in the divine prison? I only know that he was sent to hell and then sent to hell, then locked up in the divine prison. Chen Shang had heard it all from Yang Yan, but Yang Yan did not know the specifics either. Penalty Heavenly God was in charge of the divine prison, so he must be very clear about this matter. This kind of matter is something that not even the Devil Slayer knows about. You might not understand the consequences of wreaking havoc in the infernal realm, and normally, when you act recklessly in the infernal realm, you will be killed or tortured by the Hell Devil Emperor for tens of thousands of years. However, in the end, the azure dragon was still brought back to the divine prison. Chen Shang said, "I heard that the sword god was like that back then." The Penalty Heavenly God nodded his head. The reason why the azure dragon was brought back to the divine prison was not because of my interference, but because the infernal realm was unable to suppress him, just like the sword god back then. Chen Shang and Long Shui were shocked. If even hell could not suppress the azure dragon, didn't that mean the azure dragon's strength was extremely strong? You should have heard that there were some extraordinary people locked up in the divine prison, and they were not sealed by me, they were all sealed inside by the great god of the supreme divine palace. The azure dragon is currently in such a situation. If you want to save him, it won't be easy, and you have to use divine money to redeem him. Penalty Heavenly God knew what Chen Shang and Long Shui were thinking at the moment. He was also Azure Dragon's friend. If he had a way, he would definitely say it. Long Shui, who was eating sweetly, suddenly looked pained and a little dejected. Previously, she had found out from the yin-yao ring that the sword god was sealed by the supreme god, and the difficulty was the same as saving the azure dragon. Is there really no other way? Long Shui asked somewhat sorrowfully. There is a way. I also hope that we can save the azure dragon. I'll go ask around and see if there is any good way. Penalty Heavenly God's words gave Chen Shang and Long Shui a trace of hope. Play with this dagger properly, I'll come back in a few days. The Penalty Heavenly God left after he finished speaking. With Penalty Heavenly God's consent, Chen Shang dared to use the heavenly alchemy to refine the short sword. He took out the pill furnace that Yuan Bibing had given him, and placed the black stone dagger inside. Then, he used the method he had used to refine the medicinal ingredients, and the infinite refining began to burn. It was not easy to smelt the black stone dagger. Chen Shang used the fiercest of firepower and continued to burn for more than 2 hours. The black stone dagger did not show any signs of melting at all. Just what is this thing made of? Even if it is a very sturdy top stone, it would not be completely silent if it was burned by me like this. Chen Shang stopped his smelting process and took out the blackstone short sword. What made him even more surprised was that the blackstone short sword was not hot at all. What's going on? Chen Shang suddenly felt that this black stone sword was like a bottomless pit. The powerful firepower that he had released just now should have been absorbed by this black stone sword. Previously, Penalty Heavenly God had also attempted to burn the blackstone short sword for a long time. Penalty Heavenly God's firepower was even stronger, but it was all absorbed by the blackstone short sword. I can't use a normal method. There is a way to solve this problem in the heavenly alchemy. Chen Shang closed his eyes, and began to study this method. Whenever he had nothing to do, he would go look for the many methods inside the heavenly alchemy, so he had the impression that he could immediately figure them out. After half an hour, Chen Shang found the technique and familiarized himself with it. In this situation, I need to use the heavenly refining flame. There were 2 types of heavenly refining fire, The first was to borrow the energy of the world. Chen Shang had already used this type of heavenly refining fire before, and it was usually used when his own flames were not strong enough, so this type of heavenly refining flame was not easy to control. The other type was the genuine heavenly refining flame. It was formed by fusing one's own flames together with the energy circulation method in the heavenly alchemy. Chen Zhang's Chuangzhao fire was very strong. He wanted to try and see if using this kind of flame could turn it into a heavenly flame. He opened his palm and stared at his palm, concentrating to circulate the chant within the heavenly alchemy. A cluster of silvery white Chuangzhao fire appeared in the center of his palm, originally extremely calm, but as Chen Shang gradually added in the divine power that was circulating in the heavenly alchemy, the flame became extremely restless, violently jumping up and down, as if it was trying to break free from Chen Zhang's grasp. Not long after, the silver-white flame suddenly burst into a burst of purple light. The flame turned purple as well, and the flame was shrouded in purple mist. At this time, the flame was being released by Chen Shang using his own divine power, and the flame itself was absorbing the energy of heaven and earth. Chen Shang had successfully released the heavenly flame. Although it did not emit any heat waves, it was a heavenly alchemy which had a very strong smelting ability. He placed the black stone short sword into the pill furnace, and then released the heavenly flame. After pouring it into the pill furnace, he discovered that he had underestimated this purple heavenly flame, because after the pill furnace was burnt down by the heavenly alchemy, a change had already occurred. Chen Shang did not dare to use this furnace to continue refining, he could only use his bare hands to refine more, in other words, he used the magic method furnace. Furthermore, it didn't consume too much divine power either. Chen Shang planned to use this flame to refine pills in the future to see how effective it would be, because this heavenly alchemy also contained the special characteristics of Chuangzhao Fire-S. Within the magic method furnace, the black dagger was being burned by the purple flames of the heavenly smelting. There's a reaction. This short sword has finally started to deform. I wonder what exactly is hidden inside. Chen Shang was secretly delighted as he continued to use his flames to burn. The short sword started to deform. Chen Shang had not controlled it much as it was being burned by the purple flames of heavenly refinement. The short sword became a very thin black paper, and it was so big that Chen Shang had no choice but to enlarge the magic method furnace further so that it could fit the big piece of black paper. Chen Shang had refined it for 2 whole days before the changes in the magic method furnace's contents finally stopped. Originally, it was a black dagger, but after it was refined, it became black paper, and in the end the black paper faded away and became white paper, like a picture scroll hung on the wall. It's not changing anymore, but there's nothing on it. Long Shui watched carefully from the side. She tried using her divine power for a bit, but could not find anything. Let's wait until Penalty Heavenly God comes. Just as Chen Shang finished speaking, the Penalty Heavenly God arrived. When Penalty Heavenly God arrived, he took out a plate of holy fruits and placed it on the table. Looking at the white paper, he asked, "Have you made any progress?" Penalty Heavenly God did not know that the obsidian dagger he had given to Chen Shang had become a piece of white paper. You probably don't believe that the black dagger has become like this. When Chen Shang said this, Penalty Heavenly God did not react. He did not understand what Chen Shang had said. Chen Shang picked up the piece of white paper and said, "After I refined it with the heavenly alchemy, it became a piece of white paper." Penalty Heavenly God frowned. He had already guessed many different results, but he never thought that the black dagger would be refined into a piece of white paper. When I was refining it, the dagger transformed on its own. I had no control over it. Chen Shang spread his hands. Penalty Heavenly God forced out a drop of blood from his fingertip and dripped it onto the white paper. Ah! Penalty Heavenly God suddenly roared. His face was in pain, but only for a short period of time. Following that, some words gradually appeared on the paper. These were all ancient characters. Chen Shang was able to understand these ancient characters. Although it was different from the ones he knew, the words that he was familiar with right now were somewhat similar to these ancient characters. It's a cultivation technique. Chen Zhang's eyes opened wide as he looked at the 3 types of words that were gradually appearing in the last row. Heavenly body. Long Shui shouted in shock. Penalty Heavenly God nodded with a serious expression. Heavenly body, one of the 4 great taboo magic S. Long Shui had some of the memories of her past life, so she knew about the sky body. The content of the heavenly body wasn't much because there were only a few hundred words on the paper. He quickly memorized them all. You can't learn. Penalty Heavenly God looked at Chen Shang sternly and shouted. Why? Chen Shang had a face full of doubt. He had already learned 2 of the 4 great taboo magic S, so there was no difference between this and them. Long Shui sighed. Heaven's physique, as its name implies, is able to allow living beings to cultivate bodies that are as strong as the heavens. Chen Shang curled his lips and said, "What's wrong with that?" He was just worrying that the heavenly alchemy would not be able to strengthen his supreme god bone, so with this heaven body, it would be even better. That's great, but you have to go refine it with your life on the line. If you refine it, then you'll be in great danger. The divine tribulation will never stop. It's not as simple as just being struck by lightning. Long Shui had some understanding of the heavenly body, and looking at her expression, it was obvious that she did not recommend Chen Shang to cultivate it. Penalty Heavenly God said in a deep voice, "That's right, the most dangerous thing about a heavenly body is that heavenly tribulation, as well as the various tests that cause one to lose their rationality and self-control. If you fail, you won't die, but you will be even more terrifying than dead." Seeing that Chen Shang was still doubtful, the Penalty Heavenly God continued to speak, "As long as you cultivate the true heavenly body, you can break through all the restrictions of the ancient code, because all sorts of ancient code powers are useless against you, because all of the ancient code powers are created by the heavens. If you cultivate the heaven body, if you are unable to overcome the heavenly tribulation, you will become the nourishment of the ancient code's power and will be tortured for a long time before your soul enters hell. My father was like that. He left this short sword for me, so you'd better not cultivate, or else you'll have to prepare yourself. Other than that, you might also have to implicate the people around you." Chapter 18:24. The short sword was left behind by the father of the Penalty Heavenly God, but it required the use of the heavenly alchemy in order to unravel the secret inside. "You have helped me solve my many years of doubts. I will thank you." Although he looked very serious, but when he spoke, it gave off a very intimate feeling. Chen Shang said, "Devil-killing Divine Palace wants to start a war with Hell Divine Palace, but Main Heavenly God told me to come here to find you. Why is this?" Penalty Heavenly God put his hand on his shoulder, as he said with a stern expression, "Do you really think it's that simple to slay a devil? He has had too many opportunities to declare war on Hell Divine Palace over the years, but he has chosen to do it now, not just because of the matter with Devil Yang Valley." Chen Shang indeed thought so, because back then, when he saw the devil-killing Heavenly God, he was extremely furious and wished that he could exterminate him. But now, hearing the words of the Penalty Heavenly God, he seemed to have another story behind it. "He told you to come find me. Not only did he ask you to help me, he also asked you to do something. Only you were able to accomplish it." Penalty Heavenly God looked into the distance and sighed, "You have pretty much learned the first style of his 7 devil-slaying Kung Fu, so he has very high expectations for you. He wants me to do something." Chen Shang realized that the war between the devil-killing Heavenly God and the Hell Divine Palace might just be a pretense. "To the infernal realm." Penalty Heavenly God's words startled Chen Shang. Seeing Chen Zhang's shock, he added on, "There's something scary hidden in Hell Devil Emperor's hell. He originally arranged for Zhu Chao to go there, but now he has a better candidate." Going to hell to look for things, Chen Shang suddenly felt apprehensive. That was Hell Devil Emperor's territory. "Don't worry, when the time comes, Hell Devil Emperor will definitely bring his strongest power to fight, so there won't be anyone that is too powerful in hell. You can handle them." Penalty Heavenly God took out a large piece of paper and spread it on the ground. "This is the map of the infernal realm. When the time comes, you need to go to the residence of the Hell Devil Emperor in the infernal realm. You need to find a black hexagonal disc around the size of a palm in his residence." The Penalty Heavenly God pointed to a certain place, which was the residence of the Hell Devil Emperor, then he took out a disc with a pointer on it. He passed the disc to Chen Shang. "Go to the residence of the Hell Devil Emperor, and walk around. As long as you see the array turning, the hexagonal disc will be around." After Chen Shang received it from him, he said, "Can't we just directly have Zhu Chao go there? He's so strong, he'll definitely be successful. I'm not even a profound god. Your camouflage and concealment skills are better than Zhu Chao's, and because your cultivation is not high, you can easily hide your presence, preventing the gods in hell from discovering you. Moreover, you know how to test your spatial strength, so you're better than Zhu Chao." The Penalty Heavenly God said, "Zhu Chao is very strong. When fighting with the Hell Divine Palace, you can also reduce the number of casualties." Penalty Heavenly God actually colluded with Devil-killing Divine Palace to do such a thing. One could tell with one look that this wasn't something Devil-killing Heavenly God wanted Penalty Heavenly God to do. Just what is a hexagonal disc? Is it very important? Chen Shang was very curious about this. Penalty Heavenly God nodded his head. It's very important, and also very dangerous. This is exactly what Hell Devil Emperor is using to find a lot of space amongst the demons, and then using this thing to control those demons. Other than that, there are also some other frightening powers that cannot be left in his hands, otherwise, God's realm will be in great danger. Chen Shang had seen those demons before, he never thought that the Hell Devil Emperor used this kind of thing to get it. Now, he understood why the devil-killing Heavenly God and the penalty Heavenly God teamed up with each other. Alright, when can I set off? Chen Shang suddenly felt that his mission was too difficult. Only by taking that thing would he be able to prevent the Hell Devil Emperor from possessing powerful strength. Penalty Heavenly God said, stay here for a few days. As long as there is a war, I will send you to hell. Although Hell Devil Emperor will lead his powerful subordinates to war, there will definitely be guards in hell, so you must be careful. After Penalty Heavenly God left, Long Shui said in a low voice, I have an impression of that hexagonal disc. It was a terrifying divine weapon refined by a god and had been banned in the past. I didn't expect it to be in the hands of the Hell Devil Emperor. The godly weapon used by the Supreme Being would definitely be even more terrifying. In the next few days, Chen Shang familiarized himself with the first stage of the 7 devils slain Kung Fu. He originally wanted to cultivate the god-murdering sword techniques, but he did not expect that he was not able to do so right now. The god-murdering sword techniques was extremely profound, and it was not something that could be released by chance, so he firmly believed that it was related to his fusion of divine deity. Since the penalty Heavenly God came, it meant that the war between them had started. It's starting. I'll send you to hell now. Be careful, you should be familiar with the map. Penalty Heavenly God took out an array disc. He was a penalty Heavenly God and could freely enter hell. Bring that hexagonal disc back with this formation plate. Penalty Heavenly God made Chen Shang stand on top of the small formation plate. Long Shui had already entered Chen Zhang's serene dragon ring, and since she wanted to go with Chen Shang, Penalty Heavenly God was not opposed to it. I'll wait for him. Penalty Heavenly God opened the array disc, sending Chen Shang away. Chen Shang disappeared along with the transmission array plate and appeared in a dark place. This place was filled with evil energy and black fog. Fortunately, I didn't come here because I was dead. Chen Shang looked at the surrounding terrain, and quickly confirmed his location. Following the route on the map, he passed through a few tall mountains full of bones, and saw a blood-red ocean. This was the Blood Sea of Hell. The residence of the Hell Devil Emperor was located on an island in the Blood Sea. Chen Shang stood at the shore and took out a pearl that emitted a white light. The control pearl floated above the blood that rose and fell was extremely thick, and there were even many skeletons trying to grab it. Only bones are left, and he can still move. Chen Shang withdrew the pearl of light and it seemed as if it had risen into the sky as it flew above the sea of blood. Long Shui said. Penalty Heavenly God said before, the most dangerous place is Hell Devil Emperor's Island. It would be best if you don't go up there directly, you should go near first, and observe for a while before you enter the island. Chen Shang had the same plan, but he had to hurry up, because he did not know how long Hell Devil Emperor would fight for. If he dragged things out too long, it would be troublesome if Hell Devil Emperor suddenly returned. Several hours later, he finally cautiously flew to the small island. When he came, he met several waves of infernal guards patrolling the island. It wasn't that he couldn't beat them, but he was afraid of alarming them, so he had to carefully avoid them. After seeing the island from afar, he immediately activated Heaven Tour method to observe the situation on the island. What made him more happy was that the infernal guards on the island were all wearing an iron mask, so he couldn't see anyone. Chen Shang used the transformation technique according to the size and the items that the infernal guards had on their bodies. He made himself look exactly like the infernal guards, imitated the aura of the infernal guards, and then flew towards the island. The majority of the hell demons were patrolling alone, and only when there was a sea of blood would they have a small party. Therefore, when Chen Shang landed on the island, he did not attract much attention. Now, Chen Shang was bravely approaching the Hell Devil Emperor's palace. That was a huge square structure built from huge black rocks. It was about 300 meters tall, and located in the middle of the island in all 4 directions. Chen Shang circled around the demon palace a few times, and after finding an opportunity, he turned into a wisp of black mist and entered through the gap in the door. This hell was originally dark, so Chen Shang thought that the interior of the underworld palace was dark as well. Who would have thought that the interior was very bright? Hell Devil Emperor doesn't like this pitch black hell either, so he ended up like God's realm in his own palace. The moment Chen Shang entered, he saw a large green plain. In front of him was a clear river that flowed slowly, and not far away was a forest of pavilions. Chen Shang released a few divine souls to investigate and found out that there were not many people inside, so he was relieved to fly towards the group of pavilions. Isn't there anyone guarding this place? Hell Devil Emperor was careless. It was impossible for Chen Shang to pretend to be a guard even if he wanted to. It was because he couldn't find them after searching for a few times. For safety's sake, Chen Shang had once again become a demon guard, and then took out the disc with a pointer given by the penalty heavenly god. He had just taken it out when the finger formation began to move. No matter which direction he turned in, the finger formation would always point in one direction. Everything went smoothly, but Chen Shang was not happy. This was the residence of the Hell Devil Emperor, he would not be able to get a hold of it so easily. He could only follow the direction of the needle vigilantly. Chen Shang shuttled through the group of pavilions. He originally thought that he would find someone from the tallest pavilion in the center, but that was not the case. Halt! Chen Shang suddenly heard a cold shout. It was actually a woman's voice. What surprised him was that his spatial perception was actually unable to sense it. What are you doing here? The infernal guards aren't allowed to enter, so they aren't allowed to enter. Who allowed you to enter? Show me your proof. The woman who was hiding somewhere asked. Chen Shang did not answer, he did not know how to reply. Just as he was thinking of a way, a woman in a black robe appeared in front of him. You trespassed into the demon palace. Go down to the 18th level of hell. The lady did not wait for Chen Shang to explain as a long spear suddenly appeared in her hands and pierced towards Chen Zhang's chest. Chen Shang immediately teleported away, distancing himself from this dangerous woman. If you aren't an infernal guard, then who the hell are you? The lady said coldly, but she could no longer feel Chen Zhang's qi. Chen Shang felt that being discovered by the woman just now was because he was too obvious, that was why she was able to see him from afar. Now that he had hidden himself, the woman could no longer discover him. Chapter 1825. After Chen Shang hid himself, he stood there motionlessly. The black-robed woman was extremely sensitive, otherwise, he would have already turned into a fly and flew away. I have released the space domain. As long as I don't move, I will definitely not be discovered. Chen Shang did not even dare to release his consciousness to investigate, in case the black-robed woman discovered him. Originally, he had planned to wait for this woman to leave this place for a period of time before making his move. Who knew that he would suddenly be caught? HMPH, don't think that I can't discover you. When Chen Shang heard the black-gowned woman's cold shout, he knew who had grabbed him. He never expected that there was actually someone who could pull him out from his space domain. He didn't understand what was going on. The most important thing right now was to get rid of this woman, or else he would fail this mission. He immediately channeled his extremely strong spatial energy and broke free from the woman's imprisonment. He discovered that this woman used a strange spatial energy. Fortunately, he had used a large amount of spatial energy to break free earlier, otherwise he would have definitely failed. Just as Chen Shang teleported, he sensed a very violent power rushing towards him. He was not in a hurry to dodge, and his chest was struck by that power, causing him to feel pain all over. Who exactly are you? What are you here for? The black-robed woman didn't take out a weapon as she appeared behind Chen Shang like a ghost. She didn't try to grab Chen Shang now because when she attacked him earlier, she had already determined that Chen Shang wasn't very strong. If she was very strong, then that move of hers simply could not injure Chen Shang at all. At the very least, Chen Zhang's strength was below hers. Chen Shang did not reply. All he wanted to do now was to quickly escape from the black-robed woman, and after taking that palm, he stabilized his body before teleporting away. Now he felt like a mouse being played with by a cat. You won't be able to escape. With your tiny bit of spatial energy, you think you can escape from me? The woman in black smiled in disdain. Chen Shang had already broken through spatial power before, and was already very strong. He could even break through the powerful spatial seal, but in front of the black-robed woman, he seemed so powerless, which caused him to be extremely shocked in his heart. Since he couldn't escape, he could only go all out. Chen Shang immediately threw out an explosive flame pill from behind him. With a bang sound, he could sense that the woman in black was not by his side. He immediately teleported again, but his vision suddenly went black. HMPH, you angered me. The black-robed woman stood in front of Chen Shang, her body emitting an imposing manner, as a large hole appeared in the black robe that she was wearing. This was what Chen Shang had exploded with the explosive flame pill. Chen Shang glanced inside the big hole, and saw a small piece of snow-white skin with an extra faint red color. It should have been caused by the explosive flame pill. Can it be that this fellow is a Empyrean god? How can he be so powerful? Groaned in his heart. If he fell into the hands of a heavenly god and was proficient in spatial techniques, it would be hard for him to escape. Seeing that the lady was about to go berserk, Chen Shang thought of something, and anxiously bowed. Big sister, please calm your anger. I was just curious for a moment. I came in to take a look, but I did not expect to meet such a strong expert who is proficient in spatial techniques, and a woman at that. I am so competitive that I want to try and see if I can escape from Big Sister's hands. Chen Shang saw that everything around him was pitch black, and knew that he had fallen into her space domain. In her space domain, he was even more weak. The black-gowned woman had wanted to raise her hand to help Chen Shang, but after hearing Chen Zhang's words, she stopped and kept her space domain. Chen Shang was very weak, but she could use spatial energy quite well. This also attracted her interest, because she rarely made any achievements in the field of spatial energy. Don't think that you can deceive me just like that. You must have other motives for sneakily barging in. It's only for the sake of curiosity. I can't do this kind of nonsense. The black-gowned woman walked to Chen Shang and tore off his mask. She only saw a very ordinary face. Chen Shang had long since changed his appearance. If the woman in black knew that he was Chen Shang, he would be in even more danger. The black-gowned woman looked at Chen Zhang's face carefully and let out a few sneers before patting him on the cheek. Her jade hand released a soft purple light and gently caressed Chen Zhang's face and released waves after waves of white light. Chen Shang, it's really you. The woman in black chuckled, then took off her mask. I didn't expect you would deliver yourself to me. It's you. Chen Shang shouted in shock. The lady in front of him was none other than May Emperor. Why was the May Emperor here, and why was she so powerful? He could not understand why the current May Emperor was completely different from the one he had seen before. Although they had the same face, their temperament and strength were completely different. You know me. The black-robed woman's question also confused Chen Shang. If she wasn't May Emperor, why would she have taken off her mask? And if she was, why did she ask that? Now, Chen Shang realized that the May Emperor in front of him did not have that kind of strong charm power. It was indeed not the May Emperor that he knew before. I've seen a woman who looks exactly like you. I thought it was her. Chen Shang said. Why are you taking off your mask? Although your face is beautiful, it isn't enough to turn my divine soul upside down. The black-clad woman replied, the woman you're talking about, is she called May Emperor? She saw Chen Shang nod his head and said, that useless thing, using my appearance, will be so useless. I will bring her back to the furnace later. He suddenly felt that the black-gowned woman in front of him was not simple at all. May Emperor was something that was created by the 9 divine kings back then. Could it be that this black-gowned woman was related to the 9 divine kings? You probably aren't one of Hell Devil Emperor's subordinates. What's your relationship with him? Chen Shang asked. Of course I'm not one of the subordinates of the Hell Devil Emperor. With just trash like him, he's not even worthy enough to bring me shoes. The black-gowned woman laughed contemptuously. Her face was full of arrogance. She suddenly grabbed Chen Zhang's arm and walked towards a pavilion. In just a few moments, Chen Shang was brought inside the pavilion by her, and fiercely thrown onto a chair. Chen Shang suddenly thought of something, and then boldly asked, are you the real younger 9 girl? Because younger 9 girl was invaded by the evil consciousness that year, he was abandoned by the 9 divine kings, and later on, it became a disaster that was everywhere in the May Emperor. Chapter 1826. The mysterious woman in front of him had said that the May Emperor was a useless thing that could be turned around at any time. This meant that the May Emperor was a substitute that she had created, and a substitute that had self-awareness. Normally, she wouldn't control the May Emperor, but the substitute's subconscious had its own mission to complete. The elder 9 girl was indeed Feng Yuji, and Feng Yuji had said that she was also very powerful back then. Her second divine deity and divine soul were also located in that grave, and her peak strength should be at the level of the gods, maybe even stronger. The girl in front of Chen Shang was very strong, and she called Hell Devil Emperor trash. That's right, even Big Sister doesn't know about this. How could you have guessed it? A sliver of surprise appeared on the woman's charming face. It seems that the useless thing has bewitched her for many years. Elder sister is still that stupid. Chen Shang felt a lot more at ease. At least, the younger 9 girl in front of him was not as evil as he had imagined. Since you called her big sister, why did you use a double to give her trouble? Every time she mentions you, she's very sad. Don't you guys have any feelings for each other? Chen Shang believed that there must be a secret behind all of this. Younger 9 girl's expression changed, becoming extremely vicious as he said angrily, "You don't need to care about this matter. I can't let her know my situation yet, so in order to keep it a secret, I won't let you go back." Chen Shang curled his lips. "Wouldn't it be even more straightforward if you killed me?" "I will kill you, but not now. You are the biggest hindrance to my plan, and if not for you letting that trash hell devil emperor fail so many times in a row, my plan would have succeeded a long time ago." Chen Shang scrunched his legs. He realized that he was still the most important person to younger 9 girl, if not he would have been killed a long time ago. He laughed. "What plan? Since I can make the Hell Devil Emperor lose so much, maybe I can make you succeed. Why don't I help you? From how anxious you are, your plan should have started when the 9 divine kings disappeared, younger 9 girl. Younger 9 girl is not something you can call me, just call me one more time and I'll cut off your tongue." Younger 9 girl glared at Chen Shang. Regarding Chen Zhang's previous suggestion, she was also considering it now. Although Chen Zhang's strength is very weak, his ability is not small, and he has already grasped the 2 taboo magic S, the god-murdering sword techniques and the heavenly alchemy. "What are you doing here? Isn't it the battle between the devil-killing divine palace and the hell divine palace right now? How can I let you go? Even if the old demon destroyer wanted to destroy this place, he should have called his son here. He shouldn't have brought you here." Younger 9 girl was very curious about this. She folded her arms across her chest and walked back and forth in front of him. She was already moved and wanted to cooperate with Chen Shang. Chen Shang was secretly delighted. Obviously, younger 9 girl did not know that there was a powerful hexagonal disc in Hell Devil Emperor that was working with her on this, and there was definitely a reason why he was hiding things like this from her. "I came here to look for something. I know that the Hell Devil Emperor has a very powerful treasure, so I pretended to go into closed-door cultivation for the next few days. The moment they started fighting, I would sneak over." Chen Shang planned to tell younger 9 girl about the hexagonal disc, but he would never say that it was devil-killing heavenly god and his wife who had sent him here. "What treasure?" As expected, younger 9 girl didn't know. "You don't know? I thought this treasure had something to do with you." Chen Shang purposely revealed a face of surprise. He felt that the good days in Hell Devil Emperor were coming to an end. "Speak," younger 9 girl shouted. Chen Shang anxiously said, "It's a hexagonal disc. I heard that he used this stuff to get a lot of demons, and can control them. Other than that, the hexagonal disc has many other powerful effects." When Chen Shang was speaking, younger 9 girl's delicate body started trembling, with an angry look on her face. She took out a drawing of a hexagonal disc, and angrily said, "Is it this?" Chen Shang had never seen the hexagonal disc before, but it was very clear that this was the picture. He nodded immediately. "It's this. You actually don't know that it is in Hell Devil Emperor's hands, and normally Hell Devil Emperor cannot bring it away, so it should be here. This bastard already obtained the 6 realms mirrors, he actually intends to keep it for himself." Younger 9 girl was furious to the extreme. "I must eliminate him." Seeing the younger 9 girl so angry, joy blossomed in Chen Zhang's heart, and he hurriedly said, "Big sister, don't be angry, the Hell Devil Emperor should be afraid of you. But since he dared to take such risks, I think he must have someone to rely on." The younger 9 girl quickly calmed down. "How do you know that the 6 realms mirrors is in his hands?" "I found out about it when I got the god-murdering sword techniques. That guy said that it's very likely that the 6 realms mirrors is in hell, so I took the chance to come over now." Chen Shang casually made up a reason. Only now did he know that the hexagonal disc was called the 6 realms mirrors, and it seemed to be very powerful. "That's right, the 6 realms mirrors is already damaged and needs to absorb a large amount of the 6 paths of reincarnation to repair it. As such, the Hell Devil Emperor is usually unable to take it away either. As long as the 6 realms mirrors is far from the 6 paths of reincarnation, it will quickly be damaged. He should have been secretly repairing it for a long time." Younger 9 girl gave a cold laugh, then asked Chen Shang in a loud voice, "Who transferred the god-murdering sword techniques to you?" "This. I also don't know who that guy is, but he said that he and I are fated to meet, so he passed it down to me." "Right, this guy is very strong, and he even knows about heavenly alchemy S and heaven-earth killing method S. Chen Shang said. Younger 9 girl immediately fell into deep thought. She thought for a while, then shook her head. I have never heard of such a thing, the 4 great taboo magic, in the history, you are the only one who has ever owned 2 sects. Chen Shang chuckled. Sister Xiao Ju, my relationship with Sister Feng is also very good. As long as you don't do any evil deeds, I am very willing to cooperate with you. Oh right, you have been here for so many years, could it be that you want Hell Devil Emperor to help you find the 6 realms mirrors? Younger 9 girl nodded. I wanted him to help me find the 6 realms mirrors. I promised him, as long as he could help me find it, I would give him 3 pieces of Upper Heavenly God's divine deity. Chen Shang curled his lips. This guy has already found him, but he said that he didn't, and said that I had obstructed him multiple times, and that the 6 realms mirrors is right here. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't even know, you would have found it soon, and it's all thanks to me. Look, you haven't even said that you want to cooperate with me, and I've already found half of it for you. The 6 realms mirrors was here, but she didn't know where younger 9 girl was. She had already sent out her consciousness to look around. The younger 9 girl snorted and said, you can talk after you find one. I won't treat you unfairly. Chen Shang shook his legs and laughed. 3 pieces of Upper Heavenly God's divine deity. Chapter 1827. Now that there was such a good opportunity to earn divine deity, Chen Shang would naturally not let it go. Of course, he did not forget that his goal here was to retrieve the 6 realms mirrors, so the penalty Heavenly God did not tell him its name. Now, he could no longer bring the 6 realms mirrors back. The younger 9 girl in front of him was unfathomably strong, he could control him with a single finger, and there was no chance for him to do so. As long as the 6 realms mirrors did not fall into the hands of the Hell Devil Emperor, he could be considered to have completed most of his mission. What, you're willing to pay Hell Devil Emperor, but you're not willing to give it to me? What's more, Hell Devil Emperor betrayed you. Chen Shang saw that the younger 9 girl was hesitating, and urged, hurry up and make your decision, that 6 realms mirrors is extremely important to you, what is there to be reluctant about? Furthermore, you and I are not mortal enemies, we are just having a little conflict. Younger 9 girl said in a deep voice, don't think that you know a lot by yourself. You actually don't know anything, do you think that my matter will be that simple? Chen Shang had already been thinking about this issue a while ago, and from the looks of it, it really wasn't controlled by the younger 9 girl. Back then, the reason the 9 divine kings decided to seal the supreme god bone away should also be because the matters of the younger 9 girl were too complicated. In other words, the 6 realms mirrors is not something that you need. Chen Shang wanted to know more. It was clear that the power behind the younger 9 girl was the one that caused him to disappear all those years ago. Younger 9 girl's attitude towards Chen Shang became much better, and he said, that's right, with my current strength, it's not easy to obtain 3 Upper Heavenly God's divine deities that I can use whenever I want. Chen Shang could tell that younger 9 girl had a lot of things he wanted to say, but he couldn't say them. Seeing Chen Zhang's regretful expression, younger 9 girl said, even though I can't give you 3 divine deities, I can give you other rewards. Chen Shang chuckled. You can threaten me easily, if I don't help you find it, you'll kill me, wouldn't that be even easier? The younger 9 girl said coldly, do you think I am that kind of person? A lower god's divine deity, I won't do it. Chen Shang spread out his hands. Of course I do I have any choice now? I just want to quickly leave this damned place. With that, Chen Shang stood up and brought her outside, walking towards a direction. Originally, he planned to look at the mysterious faces of the people who controlled the younger 9 girl, but after thinking about it, that was a powerful force that could even bring down the 9 divine kings. If he continued to be curious, that would be courting death. Chen Shang followed the direction of the finger formation and arrived at a place at the edge of the demon palace. There was an old mansion here, he pointed inside, it should be here. Younger 9 girl opened the door, and just as he stepped in, he immediately retreated, his face was extremely serious as he shouted at the door, who is inside? After a short while, an old voice that was neither hurried nor slow came from within, younger 9 girl, you really did find this place. Hell Devil Emperor is still unable to hide anything from you. Hearing the voice, the younger 9 girl said in shock, big, eldest senior brother, how could it be you? Quote. Chen Shang was also surprised. The old man inside was younger 9 girl's big senior brother, that meant younger 9 girl should have a master, wasn't that master a very powerful old monster? The 6 realms mirrors is still in recovery period. Master told me to come here and guard it. I guarantee that nothing will happen to them. That old voice carried a few sneers. You should know what's going on by now. Younger 9 girl immediately shook his head and shouted involuntarily, I don't understand, since you all have already found the 6 realms mirrors, why didn't you tell me, and even allowed me to continue searching, why are you all hiding this from me? Chen Shang felt that something was wrong. When he wanted to leave quickly, he found that his surroundings and the younger 9 girls were all red. They had fallen into the old man's domain. We don't trust you. If you find the 6 realms mirrors, you definitely wouldn't give it to us. So we did it. Chen Shang suddenly saw an old man appearing in front of younger 9 girl. He was an old man with a head of red hair and a face covered in wrinkles. The old man looked at Chen Shang, then said to younger 9 girl, you don't need to care about this matter, just treat it as our test to you. You being unable to find the 6 realms mirrors for so long also proves that you're not much of a threat. Chen Shang was standing behind younger 9 girl, and when she suddenly clenched her jade fists, she couldn't help but take a few steps back. Younger 9 girl was extremely angry, because she had spent a lot of time on this matter, but did not expect it to turn out like this. What, you dare to be angry with me? Seeing younger 9 girl's killing intent, the old man frowned and his voice became gloomy. At this time, younger 9 girl was looking at the old man with a vicious gaze, her tightly clenched jade fist slightly trembling. I hate that look, the red-haired old man shouted angrily as he raised his old, skinny hands, and slapped younger 9 girl on the face. Hearing the clear slapping sound, Chen Shang knew that the situation was bad and retreated quickly. Sure enough, younger 9 girl was already so angry that she could not hold back anymore. Her beautiful body released waves after waves of terrifying aura, and her black hair started to dance about, venting out her endless anger. Old bastard, younger 9 girl shouted hoarsely. His fist shot out like lightning, striking the red-haired old man's face and releasing a deep purple glow. I'm going to smash your face today. Younger 9 girl waved his hands, and a few purple light rattans appeared, binding the red-haired old man who was rushing over. The red-haired old man's red domain instantly shattered, turning him into the younger 9 girl's purple space domain. Little bitch, what are you doing? The red-haired old man did not expect the younger 9 girl to be so powerful, he was shocked. Younger 9 girl gnashed his teeth and said, you have beaten me for so many years, I will return it to you now. As she spoke, a long whip filled with black thorns appeared in her hand. With a few, shua shua, sounds, she whipped the red-haired old man's face a few times. You're dead, master will be here soon. The red-haired old man grinned fiendishly, it's too late for you to kill me now. Although your strength has exceeded my expectations and is even a lot stronger than mine, it won't be that easy for you to kill me. If I were you, I would run far away right now. Hurry and take the 6 realms mirrors away. Younger 9 girl anxiously shouted to Chen Shang. Her hands slapped the old man's face back and forth, and in that instant, she had whipped him hundreds of times. Chen Shang anxiously walked into the house. Younger 9 girl formed a seal with his hands, as though he was going to use a powerful technique. Chapter 1828. The 6 realms mirrors has already consciously absorbed the 6 divine powers and is repairing itself. Let alone this little demon, even if master were to come, it would not be easy to take away. The red-haired old man was very calm. Although he was very angry in his heart, when he thought about how the younger 9 girl would not be able to escape, and how he would definitely be captured and fiercely retaliated, he felt a lot more at ease. Chen Shang did not listen to his nonsense. After rushing into the house, he saw a black hexagonal mirror floating above a pool that was flickering with white light. That pool of sparkling white light should be the 6 streams of divine power. Chen Shang floated over. He grabbed onto the 6 realms mirrors with both of his hands, but he could not move it even an inch. He became extremely anxious and asked Long Shui, what do we do? This thing is not easy to take away. The red-haired old demon's master is coming over, it must be a god. Quick, drip some blood. Long Shui said anxiously, it's not ordinary blood, this blood was forced out from your supreme god bone. Chen Shang immediately did as he was told and immediately forced out a drop of blood from the inside of his skeleton. This drop of blood was not red in color, but rather silvery white, and contained a very dense amount of energy. After the drop of God's bone landed on the 6 realms mirrors, a silver white light flashed explosively. Seeing this kind of light, Chen Shang was shocked, because this light was the same as the Protector God's light emitted by the Chaos Fire token, it was even stronger than the Protector God's light. Quickly use the devouring magic Kung Fu, help 6 realms mirrors absorb the 6 divine powers. Long Shui said again, all of these things suddenly appeared in her mind. After Chen Shang sensed the connection between him and the six realms mirrors, he was ecstatic. At the same time, he channeled his devouring magic Kung Fu and quickly absorbed the 6 streams of divine powers. When absorbing, it was not completely used to repair the 6 realms mirrors, but to store a large amount of the 6 paths of divine powers into the 6 realms mirrors, and then wait for the 6 realms mirrors to absorb the stored divine powers in order to repair itself. Chen Shang had to admit that this 6 realms mirrors was indeed very mysterious, and was not an ordinary divine tool. With his assistance, the speed at which the 6 realms mirrors was absorbing the 6 divine powers was extremely shocking, like swallowing the ocean, and he could clearly feel its speed. Have you taken it out yet? If you can't, then hurry up and leave. The highest devil god is coming. The younger 9 girl outside shouted anxiously. She did not plan to abandon Chen Shang and run away by herself. This made Chen Shang feel very touched. Chen Shang shouted, "Give me some more time." The red-haired old demon laughed savagely. "Stop struggling, just obediently wait for Master's arrival. By then, you'll know what it means to rather die than to live." Just as he finished laughing, Chen Shang teleported in front of him. He had already succeeded, the 6 realms mirrors had already fused into his body, even the red-haired old demon could not see it. "Don't you want to kill him?" Chen Shang asked. The red-haired old demon had already been tormented by the younger 9 girl to the point of being insatiable, but he did not die. "It's very difficult to kill. He has the highest devil god's spirit energy to protect his body, his bones are very firm and hard to break, his divine soul are even more so tightly protected." Just as younger 9 girl finished speaking, Chen Shang took out his god-slaughtering sword and sliced the grinning red hair into 8 pieces, then sprinkled a large amount of god eclipse powder towards the head. "It's actually the supreme divine sword, and there's also the god eclipse powder." Chen Shang had already activated soul-absorbing devil spell and devouring magic Kung Fu on him, taking away his divine deity in large numbers, then used his spatial energy to seal it up and keep it in the ring. Chen Shang never thought that things would go so smoothly. He had done this before, he never thought that it would be so easy to deal with the red-haired old demon. When younger 9 girl saw this scene, he was shocked and anxiously shouted, "It's too late, highest devil god is here." A majestic and vast power suddenly appeared. The entire infernal realm suddenly trembled. The infernal guards outside were so intimidated by this pressure that they were unable to stand up and they all knelt on the ground. "I can make it." Chen Shang anxiously took out the formation plate that the penalty heavenly god had given him, pulled the younger 9 girl to his side, then opened the formation plate. In the blink of an eye, he left hell, and arrived in the forest garden where the penalty heavenly god was. Chen Shang heaved a long sigh. He was not worried about bringing trouble to the penalty heavenly god. He was sure that the penalty heavenly god knew the origins of the 6 realms mirrors, and maybe even knew that some highest devil god would have a way to deal with this 6 realms mirrors. "This is the punishment hall." Younger 9 girl asked in a deep voice, "Was it penalty heavenly god who teleported you to hell?" "We'll talk about it in the future. Hide yourself first." Just as Chen Shang finished speaking, the penalty heavenly god appeared. "There's no need to hide." Penalty heavenly god looked at younger 9 girl, he seemed to know a few things. Younger 9 girl snorted, because she knew Chen Shang had deceived her. Penalty heavenly god pointed to a stone chair to the side and indicated for younger 9 girl to sit down. "I was the one who sent him to get the 6 realms mirrors. You have been waiting in hell for Hell Devil Emperor to find the 6 realms mirrors, but you did not know that Hell Devil Emperor had already found the 6 realms mirrors." Chen Shang curled his lips. "With such a powerful red-haired old demon watching us, and you still telling me to go, I was almost killed by that guy, and that whatever highest devil god is also here." Quote. Penalty heavenly god said, "Aren't you back now, and have taken away the 6 realms mirrors?" Chen Shang had already obtained it, but he wanted to buy it himself. That 6 realms mirrors was no ordinary divine tool, he lied. "I didn't get it, so it's not easy to take that thing away." Penalty heavenly god sneered. "Don't lie to me, highest devil god's anger has already reached all divine palaces, and only when the 6 realms mirrors is taken away would he act like this." Younger 9 girl glared at Chen Shang. "You actually got it, hand it over." Chen Shang stuck out his tongue. "No, this is mine." With penalty heavenly god here, he was not afraid of her. "I miscalculated, I really did not know that the red-haired old demon was guarding there, moreover he could call highest devil god over at any time, and almost caused your death, luckily you were lucky." Penalty heavenly god arrived in front of Chen Shang and extended his hand out, saying, "The Six Realms mirrors is yours, I just wanted to take a look." Chen Shang was helpless, he could only take it out. It was only a silver hexagonal mirror, there was nothing special about it. After looking at it for a bit, Penalty Heavenly God gave it back to Chen Shang. "As long as you don't fall into the hands of Hell Devil Emperor and Highest Devil God, you can keep it safe." Younger Nine Girl gritted his teeth. "This is mine, I spent so much time on this Six Realms mirrors, in the end, I actually let you kid, quickly give it to me." Penalty Heavenly God pressed his hand on Younger Nine Girl's shoulder. "You don't have a Supreme God bone, and are unable to control it, so it is useless for you to come here. Right now, the Six Realms mirrors has not been repaired, and he needs Chen Zhang's help to continue repairing it." Chapter 1829. Penalty Heavenly God knew so much, and even knew so much about this Younger Nine Girl in front of him. This made Chen Shang wonder if this Penalty Heavenly God was related to him. "I can't let it go. I've wasted so much time and effort just for this. I'm not willing to give up." Younger Nine Girl flew fiercely, looking as if he was about to swallow Chen Shang whole. Chen Shang anxiously hid behind Penalty Heavenly God and laughed. "You are useless, the Six Realms mirrors is fated to be with me, I just merged it with just a drop of blood. Now, even if I give it to you, the Six Realms mirrors is not willing." Younger Nine Girl clenched her teeth as she stared at Chen Shang. She didn't really want the Six Realms mirrors, but she was very angry now, because after running around for so many years for the Six Realms mirrors, she was finally played like a monkey. All these years, she had endured much humiliation before being slapped by the red-haired old demon many times. Although the red-haired old demon had already been killed by Chen Shang, Younger Nine Girl still did not calm down. "Right now, you have to consider the matter before you. Highest Devil God has already come out, and he already knows that you betrayed him." Penalty Heavenly God said in a serious tone. "Fortunately Highest Devil God doesn't dare to disobey Supreme Divine Palace now, so he won't act recklessly. But towards you, he doesn't need to worry." Younger Nine Girl was even angrier now. "It's none of my business, the red-haired old demon was killed by this brat, the Six Realms mirrors is also in his hands, why would Highest Devil God want to capture me?" Chen Shang anxiously said. "Young Mistress Xiao Ju, please do not tell anyone, help me keep this a secret, at least I helped you kill the red-haired old demon, and did not let the Six Realms mirrors fall into the hands of the Highest Devil God, for you, this should be a very venting of your anger." Younger Nine Girl snorted. She thought about it, and felt that she might be satisfied, but the benefits were already taken by Chen Shang. Penalty Heavenly God said, "Do you need my help? I will do my best to protect you so that you won't be found by Highest Devil God. But you have to listen to me." Chen Shang asked, "Can't she stay here? I think it's good here." Younger Nine Girl shook his head. "Highest Devil God can easily find me. If I stay here, it will only bring him trouble." Penalty Heavenly God nodded his head. "That's right, for your safety's sake, I can only send you to that place. Highest Devil God is unable to reach that place, and he won't be able to find that place either." Younger Nine Girl frowned. She already knew what kind of place it was and nodded her head helplessly. "It can't be. Divine Prison." This place suddenly appeared in his mind. That place was indeed very safe inside the Divine Prison, and there was even the power of the true God that was affecting that place. Younger Nine Girl stared at Chen Shang. "That's right, do you want to go there to accompany me?" Chen Shang curled his lips and said, "I'm not very familiar with you, why should I accompany you?" Younger Nine Girl appeared beside Chen Shang in a flash and kicked him hard on his butt. "You're still saying that you're not familiar with me, if it wasn't for me, can you even obtain the Six Realms mirrors and the divine deity of the red-haired old demon? These are all good stuff, you heartless bastard." Chen Shang rubbed his bottom, and laughed heartlessly. "This is all because of my luck, and it has nothing to do with you. If it wasn't for me, you probably would have already been captured by that Highest Devil God, you should be thanking me." Penalty Heavenly God frowned, and said in a deep voice, "Stop being so noisy, I'll send you to Divine Prison right now. Cultivate properly inside, as long as you enter the realm of the Supreme God, you will no longer be afraid of Highest Devil God." The Younger Nine Girl snorted. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath, then relaxed his entire body, only to see the Penalty Heavenly God taking out an array disc. He controlled the array disc to float above the Younger Nine Girl, and the array spun, releasing a silver light beam to envelop the Younger Nine Girl. Chen Shang asked, "Penalty Heavenly God, what the hell is wrong with her? Didn't she betray 9 divine kings back then? I had thought that she was the May Emperor." Penalty Heavenly God said, She didn't betray 9 divine kings, she just wanted to help 9 divine kings, that's why she did it. It's just that she never succeeded, and instead wasted a lot of things searching for 6 realms mirrors. That's why she's so angry right now. Quote. Chen Shang said in shock, doesn't that mean 9 divine kings and Feng Yuji misunderstood her? The penalty heavenly god nodded her head, this is exactly the effect that she wants. Only then can she successfully approach the highest devil god and gain the trust of the highest devil god. Does not truly trust her. Quote. Chen Shang suddenly felt extremely guilty, because the supreme god bone in his body was prepared by the 9 divine kings for the younger 9 girl. It was just that at that time, the 9 divine kings thought that the younger 9 girl had been devoured by the evil spirit, and did not hand the supreme god bone over to the younger 9 girl. Does she have a name? Chen Shang asked again. No, she would only approve if 9 divine kings gave her a name, so for all these years, she has always been called this way. A look of guilt flashed across penalty heavenly god Zhang's face as he said, you don't have to feel guilty. You have obtained the supreme god bone. Chen Shang curled his lips, how do you know that? Where exactly do you come from? Penalty heavenly god's face sank, with a stern look on his face, one of the divine kings is my grandfather. This, Chen Shang was stunned, no wonder the penalty heavenly god was so powerful and knew about such a thing. He suddenly suspected that the devil-killing heavenly god might also be related to the divine king, if not why would his relationship with the penalty heavenly god be so good? His father cultivated the heavenly body and heavenly alchemy, so his whereabouts were unknown. His grandfather was also a divine king, and he was also an outstanding divine god. Penalty heavenly god, do you know what happened inside the 9 heaven devil palace now? Chen Shang felt that penalty heavenly god should know something. I don't know, not even my father. Penalty heavenly god shook his head. You must not try to enter 9 heaven devil palace now. Now Chen Shang understood why the azure dragon that year was only profound gods, and was willing to make penalty heavenly god his friend. It turned out that this penalty heavenly god knew that the azure dragon was a powerful divine beast from that year, and in the future, the azure dragon would awaken its memories possessing the strength of its previous life. I never thought that the great battle would end so soon. From today onwards, the reputation of the Hell Devil Emperor will forever disappear. Penalty heavenly god closed his eyes, as if he was there. Hell Devil Emperor is dead. Chen Shang said in pleasant surprise. The battle between Hell Divine Palace and him had not been held long ago, yet there was actually a conclusion to the battle. The penalty heavenly god shook his head. No, it's just that the Hell Divine Palace is heavily injured, all the gods are injured, and I am going to take over the infernal realm. This is something that the All Divine Palaces has already tacitly approved. No ad please go to. Please share. Chapter 1830. The Hell Devil Emperor was still alive, so Chen Shang had to be on his guard. Although the Hell Devil Emperor had lost, that did not mean that he would decline, and perhaps rise again. After all, the Hell Devil Emperor had been here for so long, and was connected to the highest devil god behind the scenes. With regards to the matters of the highest devil god, the penalty heavenly god did not reveal too much. It was clear that he did not want Chen Shang to know too much about this matter. You can continue to stay here. After I've confirmed the situation outside, I'll let you out. I don't know what highest devil god plans to do yet, and I don't know if he has already found out that the 6 realms mirrors was obtained by you. After penalty heavenly god said this, his body became blurry and then disappeared. Only the penalty heavenly god and the younger 9 girl knew that the 6 realms mirrors was in Chen Zhang's hands. The red-haired old demon also didn't know that Chen Shang had already gotten the 6 realms mirrors. However, penalty heavenly god was still worried. If she knew that the 6 realms mirrors was in Chen Zhang's hands, then Chen Shang would probably go and hide in hell. Right now, Chen Shang could only stay here. He had to properly plan out what he had to do in the future. There were simply too many things he had to do. The most important thing right now was to become stronger in 10 years, and then go to the Supreme Divine Palace to train. Shui Yi, does your incomplete memories have anything to do with this guy? Is this guy really the grandson of a divine king? Then who is his father? He actually cultivates 2 taboo magic heaven's body and heavenly alchemy. Chen Shang hoped that Long Shui could retrieve something from her memories. Previously, when they were collecting the 6 realms mirrors, Long Shui had told Chen Shang how to do it. Long Shui shook his head. I don't know, if I had it in my memories, the moment I saw him, it would have popped out of my memories. Memory is like this. Perhaps you can remember the names of many acquaintances, but it is very difficult to say the names of all those acquaintances in a short period of time. However, after seeing that group of acquaintances, you can easily say them one by one. Chen Shang did not dare to take out the 6 realms mirrors, afraid that the highest devil god would sense it. But I know the background of that highest devil god. He is also one of the supreme divine palace. He is mainly responsible for the devilish way of the 6 paths. I do not know the specifics. In short, he is very powerful. He is one of the 6 divine kings in the supreme divine palace. Hearing Long Shui say that, Chen Shang anxiously asked, then what is this 6 realms mirrors? Could it be that it was created by the 6 divine kings? Long Shui said, no, the 6 realms mirrors seem to be formed naturally. I don't know of its specific usage. Maybe after I recover some of my memories, I will know a bit. Helping Long Shui to recover his memories from his previous life was also a very important matter. Not long after, Penalty Heavenly God returned. He nodded at Chen Shang. You can go back now. Chen Shang returned to the devil-killing divine palace, but was not heavily injured, because the battlefield was the hell divine palace, and inside the devil-killing divine palace, he saw many injured disciples. In this battle, none of the disciples died, and the majority of them were the devil-killing heavenly god and more than 10 powerful divine god disciples. Devil-killing heavenly god was currently resting. In order to reduce the number of casualties, he had used his full strength from the very beginning, so Chen Shang could only see devil-killing heavenly god's avatar. After finding out that Chen Shang had returned, the devil-killing heavenly god sent him to a secret floor. He had already found out from the penalty heavenly god that the 6 realms mirrors had fallen into Chen Zhang's hands. Before the 6 realms mirrors is completely repaired, you must not let this space out. Once the highest devil god senses it, the consequences will be severe. Devil-killing heavenly god warned Chen Shang the moment he saw him. Chen Shang nodded his head. Main heavenly god, just what uses does this 6 realms mirrors have? I have obtained the 6 realms mirrors, how can I make good use of it? The devil-killing heavenly god sighed. The 6 realms mirrors is a divine object raised by 6 paths, I don't know its true purpose. Back then, the 6 realms mirrors had once fallen into the hands of the highest devil god, and was then snatched away by the 9 divine kings. Before the 9 divine kings went missing, it was used by one of the divine kings of the 9 divine kings to battle, and after being heavily injured, its location is unknown. Chen Shang was very curious about the power of the 6 realms mirrors. He could only wait for the 6 realms mirrors to repair itself before he could take it out and research it. I have already sent Xiao Chou over to a friend's place. This is to let him have a greater confidence in passing the Supreme Divine Palace's trial. You need to carefully consider this matter in the future. The devil-killing heavenly god said, in terms of your cultivation, I have nothing to guide you in. It is all because of your own comprehension. Devil-killing heavenly god instructed a few more things before letting Chen Shang leave. When Chen Shang came out, he immediately went to find Wang Jinshi, who was also waiting for him. Senior sister, are you hurt? Chen Shang saw that Wang Jinshi's face was pale white, and couldn't help but be worried. Of course I'm fine, you don't even know whose daughter I am. Wang Jinshi laughed tenderly, you don't have to worry about Hell Devil Emperor bothering you anymore. This guy should be recuperating right now, his shrimp soldiers and crab generals, our devil-killing divine palace will continue to hunt them down. Chen Shang smiled and nodded, thank you so much. I will be more relaxed in the future. Wang Jinshi patted Chen Shang on the head. You can rest in peace and prepare to take on the Supreme Divine Palace's trial. I will be going into closed-door cultivation soon. When you see me again, I will be a god. After that, Chen Shang and Wang Jinshi headed to the hotel in the Divine City, and continued to drink with Zhu Chao and the others, all the way until dawn. After daybreak, Chen Shang left devil-killing Divine City alone. When Chen Shang arrived, he directly rushed to Yang Yan's hotel. At this moment, the place was still talking about the great defeat of the Hell Divine Palace. Although the God of Fortune had a cooperative relationship with the Hell Devil Emperor, the God of Fortune did not help out in the previous Great War. It was the same for the other halls that had some connections with the Hell Divine Palace, as they were obviously afraid of provoking the devil-killing heavenly god. Furthermore, the Hell Devil Emperor had secretly done a lot of shady things in the past few years. Yang Yan was already the profound god, and looked like he was a playboy. But in Chen Zhang's eyes, this Yang Yan was a terrifying person who hid his strength well. Fortunately, he was not his enemy. This time, it was not easy seeing Yang Yan, because Yang Yan was not in the hotel. he was already out, so Chen Shang could only wait patiently. Chapter 1831. Yang Yan had told the owner of this hotel that as long as someone came to find him, he would be treated well. At this moment, Chen Shang enjoyed bathing in the hotel. He waited for a long time before Yang Yan returned to the hotel. A waiter came to notify him. Arriving at the hall where Yang Yan was entertaining guests, when Chen Shang saw Yang Yan, he immediately used the voice transmission technique to tell Yang Yan, "Big brother Yang, this is Chen Shang." Yang Yan nodded his head, and laughed heartily, "I knew you would come, let's talk inside." Chen Shang and Yang Yan arrived at a secret room, and Yang Yan sighed emotionally, "The last time you were in the divine prison, I knew that you would definitely have some accomplishments in the future. I didn't think that it would be so quick to verify what I was thinking." During the last meeting with the all-divine palaces, the strength Chen Shang had displayed had left a deep impression on him. "Big brother Yang, you're not bad too. You've hidden your strength well enough, I still can't tell what kind of strength you have." Chen Shang laughed. When Devil-killing Divine Palace defeated Hell Divine Palace, he no longer had a shrine, and he even brought out some evidence, asking Penalty Heavenly God to punish Hell Devil Emperor. Now that Hell Devil Emperor had already ran away, all of his subordinates were taken away by Penalty Heavenly God. Although he lacked the threat from the Hell Divine Palace, Chen Shang was still very careful. The last time Chen Shang came to look for Yang Yan, was to ask him to help her buy some holy level medicinal herbs, or look for a way to buy them. Chen Shang had to start refining the middle-grade holy level pills and the high-grade pellets. Many shops that specialize in producing holy elixirs are out of stock. If you need a good price to buy a lot of them, I suggest that you go to the Goddess City and have a look around. The women there grow these types of plants and flowers are very extraordinary. Yang Yan took out an envelope and handed it over to Chen Shang. "If you encounter any inconvenience when you are at that place, you can pass this to the city lord of the Goddess City. She is my wife, and after I finish all the work here, I will also go to the Goddess City." Chen Shang took it, and said with some surprise, "Big brother Yang, you're quite impressive, the city lord of the Goddess City is actually your wife." Yang Yan shook his head and laughed, "It's all because of my father." Chen Shang currently did not have divine money, so even though he had some divine deities, he was not willing to sell them. "I need to get some good money." This gave Chen Shang a headache. Fortunately, he had grasped the method to refine Lingguang Dan earlier, and could refine quite a bit. As long as he sold it, he would be able to get a lot of divine money in a short period of time. Divine Maiden City was a city that was built by the Divine Female Palace, and there were a lot of people within the city. Chen Shang felt that this place was much more lively after coming here from the brilliant Divine City. He had heard that a lot of men came here to try their luck, to see if he could marry a divine maiden. Just as Chen Shang arrived at the Goddess City, he heard an astonishing piece of news. Feng Yuji had actually come to the God's realm, and was even the second palace master of the Divine Female Palace at that. It is said that she will be the one in charge of the Divine Female Palace in the future. For Feng Yuji to be able to reach such a position, it seems that she has already been restored to her peak strength. At the very least, she should be a god, Chen Shang thought. Since Feng Yuji was the second palace master of the Divine Female Palace, Chen Shang felt that he would be able to borrow some medicinal ingredients from the Divine Female Palace even if he didn't have divine money. Long Shui said, "Since Feng Yuji is here, Menger and Shenxian should be following him." Back then, all the women had separated and gone about their own business. Only Lu Menger, Shui Shenxian, Dongfang Xinyue and Dongfang Jing. Chen Shang was already impatient to go to Divine Female Palace, so his walking speed became much faster. Arriving in front of the Divine Female Palace, Chen Shang secretly despised the devil-killing heavenly god. The main hall of the Divine Female Palace was much more imposing than the devil-killing Divine Palace. It was tall and big, square-shaped, like a pillar that supported the heavens. It was so tall that one couldn't see the top. "How do we get in?" When Chen Shang saw the valiant goddess wearing the war god armor, he did not dare to act recklessly. He still walked over, and when he got through the grand doors of the Divine Female Palace, he was stopped in his tracks. "Men, stop!" A female gatekeeper shouted coldly. "I am looking for your second palace master. Could you help me pass on the message?" Chen Shang anxiously said. "No, please go back." Chen Shang still wanted to say something, but after thinking about it, he turned around and left. If he wanted to see Feng Yuji, he could only reveal his identity, but he was worried that it would affect Feng Yuji. It's still better to wait for a chance to meet Feng Yuji alone in the future. After all, she is the second palace master. Devil-killing divine palace masters normally do not appear much in public. Quote. After using his meager amount of money to rent a room, Chen Shang took out 2 blood ginsengs. He had already eaten all of the dragon blood Saint Dan that he had refined with divine light. It should be able to refine 3 Lingguang Dan. I wonder how much they will sell for then. Chen Shang took out a pill furnace with cracks on it. This was the divine furnace that Yuan Bibing had gifted him, and because he had refined 15 Lingguang Dan last time, it cracked 3 times. The divine stove has to be changed too. I wonder how elder sister Munger and the rest are currently forging. Chen Shang was still thinking about his divine ship. After a few hours, the house that Chen Shang rented suddenly shook, and a large amount of dust fell, causing the divine stove to shatter into pieces and crumble. The divine stove that Yuan Bibing had given him was indeed not a good thing, and it broke just like that. Fortunately, I succeeded. I should be able to sell him for quite a bit of money. Chen Shang looked at the 3 dragon blood Saint Dan that had a burst of spiritual light and felt a lot more comfortable in his heart. If he wanted to sell the sacred pills, he would have to wait outside the pill shop. As long as it was cheaper than the pill shop, he could sell it to the pill shop here. However, the price was very low. Inside the goddess city, the best medicine shop was obviously opened by the divine female palace. Chen Shang casually asked around and found it. When he arrived at the entrance of the shop, he saw many people surrounding them. From the conversations of these people, he found out that the Rosy Clouds dance saint was inside the shop. It was said that there would be a chance to see her concocting pills in the next few days. Had already sparred with the Rosy Clouds dance saint before, and this Rosy Clouds dance saint was quite powerful as well. Chen Shang also squeezed into the crowd to join in on the fun. Feng Yuji is also an alchemist. I wonder which is stronger between her and this Rosy Clouds dance saint. Chen Shang pondered in his heart. He had hidden his strength well, and now that he possessed the strength of a heavenly god, he might be able to refine some divine pellets. Chapter 1832. During the competition, although Rosy Clouds dance saint and other famous dance saint title would not be able to get first place, it did not affect their reputation. The appearance of the Rosy Clouds dance saint at this time could be seen from how it had attracted so many people. Chen Shang was mixed in the crowd, patiently waiting for the Rosy Clouds dance saint to appear. Unexpectedly, the one who walked out was a beautiful girl. She told everyone that it was not convenient for Rosy Clouds dance saint to refine pills outside right now. This made everyone very disappointed. They had waited for so long, and this was actually the result. Just as everyone was sighing in disappointment, the girl said, although Rosy Clouds dance saint cannot refine pills outside, but we can do it inside, and the hall in our shop is also not small. As long as we do not make any noise inside, we can go in and watch the Rosy Clouds dance saint refine pills. This was the territory of the divine female palace. Whoever dared to make a ruckus inside would definitely not get anything good, and then everyone lined up in an orderly manner and went into the main hall of the shop. Chen Shang naturally followed them in. When he and several thousand people arrived at the Great Hall, it was indeed very big. The hall was divided into 2 parts. One side was very spacious, and the people who came in to see the pill refining were at that part. The other side was separated by a transparent crystal wall, and over there were a few dozen alchemists pill refining, among them were Rosy Clouds dance saint. Everyone could see that the alchemist was concocting pills with their eyes closed, but everyone's attention was on the Rosy Clouds dance saint. What pill are they refining? A man said in a low voice. Isn't it common for alchemists to refine pills in their own pill refining rooms? Gathering together to refine pills should be considered a competition. The young lady from the divine female palace replied, they are indeed competing. They are all the outstanding alchemists from our goddess city, even if they are not divine female palace's disciples, as long as they contribute to the goddess city, they can all participate in the competition here. The 3 alchemists who win will have the opportunity to receive the pointers of the pill god. Everyone heard and exclaimed in surprise. To be able to get the guidance of the pill god, it also meant that there was a pill god visiting divine female palace right now, which was why these alchemists had the chance. It was said that every great shrine was on good terms with the pill god. There were even pill god overseeing the shrines, but those were rarely seen and were even very mysterious. Although Rosy Clouds dance saints were very famous and had a high level of alchemy, it was still a very rare opportunity for her to get the guidance of the pill god. Chen Zhang's heart was moved. He had never seen the pill god before. He wanted to give him pointers too, but he did not have the chance. What pill are they concocting? How are they going to rank the top 3? An old man asked. The young lady answered with a smile. The refining method of the Shengpin Holy Dan is to refine them into pills for the pill god to see and let him choose. The pills they refined were meant for the pill god to see, so the pressure on alchemist was not small. Chen Shang saw the rosy clouds Dan saint, but it was still far away. Originally, he wanted to look at it a little longer, but he knew that refining the Shengpin Holy Dan required a lot of time. He did not want to wait any longer, so he decided to leave the hall. The girl saw that he was about to leave, so she walked over and asked, "Brother, where are you going? Don't run around, I'll bring you out." With that, the girl looked at the crowd and asked softly if anyone was leaving. When the people inside saw that Chen Shang was about to leave, they looked at Chen Shang in disdain. After entering not long ago, they left, not giving him any face as a rosy clouds Dan saint at all. Chen Shang ignored their gazes. He was just here to join in the fun, he was mainly here to sell the holy pellets in exchange for divine money. Only Chen Shang was leaving, so the girl brought him out of the hall. At this time, Chen Shang opened his mouth and asked, "Miss, do you guys buy the sacred pills here? I have a few pills with me, if the price is right, I would like to exchange them for some divine money." The girl smiled and nodded, "Of course. Please come with me, I will take you there, but there is a limit to how many of us can purchase. If there is too much then we have to inform the elders so that they can arrange it. I only sell a few." Chen Shang was only going to check the price. "That will depend on the quality of your holy elixir. At that time, there will be a special alchemist to evaluate it." The girl walked a few steps and came to a door. She opened the door and said in a soft voice, "You just have to wait patiently inside." After Chen Shang entered, he saw that there were more than 20 large round tables, and every round table had over 10 chairs. There were a lot of people seated, and there were only a few empty seats. Chen Shang found an empty seat and sat down. He knew from the conversations of the others that they were all here to sell pills. "Lil, bro, are you here to sell pills or medicine?" A black-robed old man who was sitting beside Chen Shang asked. "Senior, how about you, a pill seller?" Chen Shang laughed, and then asked. The black-clothed old man took out a small box and smiled. "This old man also sells pills. Because my luck is good, I managed to refine a high-quality low-grade saint pill." Chen Shang smiled and said, "In that case, congratulations." Chen Shang found it funny that he was able to concoct such a high-quality pill. It was all because of his good luck. A bearded middle-aged man sitting opposite to Chen Shang laughed. "That is at most a medium-quality low-rank holy pellet, it won't sell for much God's money, so does divine female palace want it or not?" The black-clad old man ignored the man and continued their conversation with Chen Shang. "Little brother, are you also an alchemist?" Chen Shang nodded his head, and said humbly, "I refined it myself, and because my luck was good, there were 3 batches." "What quality?" the old man quickly asked. Just as Chen Shang wanted to answer, the bearded middle-aged man said sarcastically, "He should be grateful to the heavens for being able to refine an inferior-grade holy pellet." Chen Shang laughed faintly. "I refined a high-quality low-rank holy pellet, the one facing me. Seems like you are also an alchemist. Could it be that you are concocting a divine pellet?" He purposely spoke loudly so that everyone in the hall could hear him. Indeed, everyone was looking in his direction. The bearded middle-aged man stood up abruptly and shouted with a vicious expression, "Kid, you are itchy, right?" Chen Shang sat there leisurely, and smiled faintly. "My skin is indeed a little itchy, it's good as long as I scratch it, but it's still much better than those fellows with a cheap mouth that spew feces all over their mouth." "Right, Lord Pill God, I wonder if you can refine such a cheap mouth pill." Everyone could not help but burst out laughing, causing the middle-aged man to fly into a rage. He rolled up his sleeves. Although he was well built, his mind was not simple, and did not immediately start a fight with Chen Shang. After all, this was the divine female palace's shop, and causing trouble here was simply courting death. "Kid, if you have the guts, come with me out of the city," the big man said angrily. "Beat me up if you have the guts. You want to beat me up, and you want me to run all the way out of the city to beat you up myself. Do you think I'll be as stupid as you?" Chen Shang chuckled. "Of course, if you carry me out of the city, I will consider it." Chapter 1833. Chen Shang knew that this middle-aged man was a weakling. If he really had the ability, he wouldn't have allowed him to go outside of the city to duel with others. The big bearded middle-aged man was so angry that his face was flushed red, his fists were clenched tightly, he looked very fierce, and although he looked scary, but Chen Shang was not afraid, the big bearded man did not dare make a move. Be quiet. A sudden soft voice made the bearded man's expression soften. This was because this was a woman from the divine female palace, he did not dare be so fierce here. What happened? A girl in blue with delicate features walked over and inquired in a light voice. Seeing her frown, the bearded middle-aged man hid his gaze, no longer having that ferocious appearance from before. The blue-clothed lady looked at Chen Shang because when she walked out of the room earlier, she saw the big bearded man glaring at Chen Shang. Chen Shang laughed. Nothing, it's just that the person on the other side wants to invite me out of the city to fight with him. The blue-clothed woman's face revealed a look of disgust, as if she was extremely disgusted with the idea of fighting and killing. Put the pills you need on the table. If I think you can buy it, I will offer a direct price. The blue-clothed lady raised her voice. When she appeared, everyone became extremely reserved, with only Chen Shang smiling mischievously. This was because Chen Shang did not know the identity of this woman in blue. However, based on Chen Zhang's surname, even if he knew, he would not think much of it. Lil, bro, you better be polite, don't stare at Miss Yi. The black-clad old man sitting beside Chen Shang whispered to Chen Shang, because Chen Shang was looking at the Miss Yi with a slightly dishonest gaze. Chen Shang had already guessed that the identity of the blue-clothed female was not simple. He asked the black-clothed elderly man via sound transmission, "Who is this Miss Yi?" The black-clad old man answered, "Her name is Yi Qin, her father is a pill god and she is also a pill saint. Although she is not Dan saint title yet, but she is already considered to be a pill god that can refine pills, but there is no proof that she is a pill god. Now that her father has returned, he is currently working as a guest in the Divine Female Palace. The Divine Female Palace doesn't allow men to enter, but the god of pills is an exception. Furthermore, Miss Yi has grown up in the Divine Female Palace, and will become an important leader of the Divine Female Palace in the future." When Chen Shang heard about Yi Qin's identity, he couldn't help but be shocked. He was actually the daughter of the pill god, and this made him look at Yi Qin more carefully. The black-clad old man once again transmitted his voice to Chen Shang. "There is a rumor that Miss Yi is the daughter of the pill god and the Divine Female Palace's palace master. Although it is only a rumor, it is most likely true. Be careful not to anger Miss Yi." Everyone placed their pills on the table. The black-clothed elder also placed his black-colored pills on the table. Chen Shang took out a jade box. He did not open the box because there were 3 Lingguang Dans inside that could blind dogs. Yi Qin walked around with graceful steps, but only frowned slightly, showing that she did not take a fancy to any pellet. Chen Shang also looked at the other pills on the table. Although there were some mid-grade holy pellets, some even had Shengpin holy Dan, but the quality was not very good. For high-end shops like the Divine Female Palace, they would definitely not sell low-grade holy pellets. "Are you here to sell jade boxes?" Yi Qin saw a jade box in front of Chen Shang, and asked softly. Although she was the daughter of the pill god and her status was honorable, Yi Qin was not such a high and mighty girl. Otherwise, she would not have come to take over this job. Chen Shang quickly explained, "The inside of my body is made of Lingguang Dan, although it is only a low-rank holy pellet, the light is still quite strong, so I won't take it out." The Lingguang Dan made the black-clad old man beside Chen Shang stare with his old and wrinkled eyes wide open. The big bearded man who had fought with Chen Shang just now was also a little surprised and in disbelief. "You can refine Lingguang Dan, you will be short of money." The black-clothed old man said, "If you have that ability, you shouldn't rely on selling pills for a living." Quote. Yi Qin came behind Chen Shang and picked up the jade box. Opening the box a little, a red light immediately spurted out. "It's the Dragon Blood Saint Anne." Yi Qin was extremely shocked. As a daughter of the pill god, she naturally understood the standards of the Dragon Blood Saint Anne in the jade box. Even the top Dan Saint title S would not be able to easily refine one. "Yeah, how much can I sell it for?" This was what Chen Shang was most concerned about. To make Yi Qin have this kind of expression, it meant that the Dragon Blood Saint Dan was not ordinary. However, from how poor Chen Shang was, it looked like he had not eaten a single meal in hundreds of years, and this Dragon Blood Saint Dan was not created by him. "Who gave it to you?" Yi Qin asked. She did not believe that this fellow could refine such a pill. If he could concoct this pill, how could he possibly lack money, and even more so know the value of this pill? This was more than 20 times the price of a normal dragon blood Saint Dan. It was worth 10,000 divine coins. I picked it up. Do you guys want it? If you don't, I'll switch places and sell it. Chen Shang originally wanted to say that he refined it himself, but after thinking about it for a while, he decided to forget about it. 35,000. Yi Qin did not pursue any further and stated his price. Ordinary Dragon Blood Saint Dan would only cost 50 spirit stones per pellet, and Dragon Blood Saint Dan with Spirit Light was 20 times more expensive. Adding all three of them together, this was the price that Chen Shang wanted. Alright, Chen Shang agreed immediately. He took the divine money from Yi Qin's hands while grinning. After saying goodbye, he rushed out of the hall. After leaving the shop, Long Shui said, "Didn't Yang Yan give you a letter?" He said that his wife is currently in City Lord and can go find her. I don't want to go. It's better to rely on myself. Chen Shang had a small sum of money. He planned to buy a few low-quality, middle-quality holy medicines and then use the spirit liquid to refine them. Chen Shang walked over to the market that held the stalls, and suddenly saw a familiar secret mark on one of the walls. When he walked over to take a look, he was immediately overjoyed, because the secret mark was left by LV Kilian. LV Kilian had finally come to the god's realm. The mark was just left. Chen Shang obtained simple information from the combination of these scrolls. After that, he left the market and arrived at a residential area. There were many small houses constructed here, all of them were the same size, and were mainly used for rental purposes. The environment here is not bad. LV Kilian should have a lot of divine money. Chen Shang followed the house's house number to where LV Kilian was. He knocked on the door of the mansion and soon someone came to open it. After the door opened, Chen Shang saw a lady with an ordinary appearance but an extremely impressive figure. He could immediately guess that she was LV Kilian, only that she had changed her appearance. Sister Kilian, Chen Shang asked with a smile. The woman nodded. Come in. Chapter 1834. LV Kilian could be considered a strong ranker in the Nine Heaven world, but with the arrival of the large amount of shrines, many true god profound goddess had appeared in the Nine Heaven world. So she had to rely on Chen Shang, and Chen Shang had been waiting for her to come up. When did you come? After Chen Shang entered the room, he very impolitely sat down and picked up the fruits on the table to eat. LV Kilian took off the disguise on her face and recovered her beautiful complexion. Seeing this, Chen Shang couldn't help but laugh wickedly. You've been here for a long time, and I've heard about your matters. You're still the same as always, tormenting yourself wherever you go. LV Kilian's tone was laced with reprimand. She did not wish for Chen Shang to be so high profile, as it would not be bad for him. Chen Shang laughed and caressed LV Kilian's face. Big sister Kilian, thank you for your concern. I'm fine now, okay. LV Kilian sighed. Let's not talk about that anymore. I didn't think that you would really come here. I heard that there will be a pill god in the goddess city, so I came here too, to see if I could contact you. When Chen Shang came, it was not for pill god. Sister Kilian, do you know where her little girl is? They came to the god's realm. Chen Shang had only met LV Kilian. LV Kilian shook his head. No, but you don't have to worry. At that time, they were together, and it wasn't for long. After a period of time, when they have sufficient strength, they will definitely contact us. Chen Shang said. Feng Yuji is already in the Divine Female Palace. It's definitely very easy for you to enter the Divine Female Palace right now. LV Kilian propped up her cheeks and said faintly, could it be that you don't understand me? You should be the man who understands me the best. Chen Shang laughed. That's right, with your surname, you should be building your own shrine. LV Kilian chuckled. Actually, Deity's Templar is just that kind of a place. I only want to become stronger, and do not need to be afraid of anything. I want to establish an empire in the gods' realm, and I want to become the emperor of the gods. Such ambition, but I like it, hee hee, when the time comes, I will be your man, the emperor. Chen Shang laughed. She had been in the gods' realm for a long time and she had always felt lonely. Now that she had met Chen Shang, she was very happy. Sister Kilian, is the divine money enough to spend? Chen Shang took out the divine money that he had just earned. No matter what, LV Kilian was still considered half a woman to him. Giving some money to his own woman was a matter that was only natural. Keep it for yourself. Are you afraid that I won't make enough money? LV Kilian rejected him. She smiled and said to Chen Shang, if you have something to say, just say it. Do you and I need to be so formal? Chen Shang laughed. Sister Kilian, I want to practice that technique with you. A live slain method. I want to get some holy level medicinal herbs, and also test out our current level, to see what it would be like to cultivate that alive slain method. Quote. LV Kilian snorted and laughed. I knew that you would think of this, but I actually also want to try. Cultivating the alive slain method together meant that they had to kiss. In the bottom of their hearts, they didn't just want to cultivate the alive slain method together, they also wanted to cultivate the deep feelings of love that came with being together. Chen Shang was the most proactive. Once LV Kilian agreed, he would go over and hug LV Kilian, and make her sit on his lap while he pouted LV Kilian's lips. The two of them kissed once, then started to operate the alive slain method, condensing that type of spirit pearl. After 2 hours, the two of them separated. LV Kilian spat out a cherry-sized silver pearl from his mouth. It was even larger than the spirit pearls they condensed in the past, and the color was also different. This spiritual bead should have become a lot more powerful. If only it could condense high-quality holy medicine quickly. LV Kilian said. With my current strength, what you and I need the most should be Shengpin Holy Dan. Chen Shang nodded his head. That's right, but I heard that there are not many high-grade holy medicines, and that refining Shengpin Holy Dan requires a pill formula. It is not easy to refine. Then let's go look for the intermediate-grade holy elixir first. How much divine money do you have there? LV Kilian didn't keep that spiritual bead properly, it was the result of her violently kissing with Chen Shang. At this moment, she had already acknowledged Chen Shang, and her feelings for him had grown deeper and deeper. 35,000, this is the price I got from selling the Dragon Blood Saint Dan, Chen Shang told the process of him selling the pellet to LV Kilian. LV Kilian's brain worked very quickly. LV Kilian leaned into Chen Zhang's embrace, like a docile little kitten. Chen Shang lovingly caressed her hair. Looks like the Lingguang Dan you refined has already reached a very high level. Yi Qin might even take out the 3 dragon blood pills and show them to her alchemist father. LV Kilian heard Chen Zhang's heartbeat, and suddenly felt a trace of other strength. What is this? Is it that white dragon? Long Shui laughed. Sorry to bother you. LV Kilian wanted to struggle free from Chen Zhang's embrace, but she did not succeed. Chen Shang hugged her tightly, and at the same time, Long Shui ran out from the ring. Just as she came out, her delicate body was hugged by Chen Zhang's other hand. Just like this, Chen Shang laughed out loud as he hugged the two beauties who wanted to struggle free from his embrace. LV Kilian snorted helplessly. She was not unfamiliar with Long Shui either. Furthermore, Long Shui was the famous Heavenly Dragon Supreme Lord back then, so she had a good impression of him. Sister Kilian, quickly bite this little scoundrel. Long Shui laughed. The more he bites, the happier he'll be. LV Kilian used quite a bit of strength, and finally got rid of Chen Zhang's bad hand that was caressing her body. LV Kilian rolled his eyes at Chen Shang, and his voice became serious. Get to the point. The current LV Kilian had the demeanor of a female emperor. Long Shui also quieted down and obediently sat there. She asked in a low voice, Big Sis Kilian, do you have any ideas to let this little scoundrel earn even more divine money? LV Kilian shook his head. No, at the moment, what he needs is not divine money, but to refine higher quality divine pellets. However, it's hard to find upper quality divine medicine and medicinal formulas, and it's also hard to find middle quality divine medicine, so he needs a certain amount of divine money to concoct it. Chen Shang asked. Then what are we going to do? Are we going to sell Dragon Blood Saint Dan's? When Yi Qin takes your Dragon Blood Saint Dan back, he will definitely know that you refined it, because when you competed in the pill refining competition that day, you refined 15 Dragon Blood Saint Dan with spiritual light at the same time. At that time, the Rosy Clouds Dan Saint was also present. LV Kilian said. In other words, now that the Divine Female Palace knows that you have come here, it would be best for you to hide your identity, even though Feng Yuji's status in the Divine Female Palace is not low. Chen Shang and Long Shui were a little suspicious. It was obvious that LV Kilian was saying this to guard against the Divine Female Palace. Chapter 1835. LV Kilian saw that Long Shui and Chen Shang were confused as to why she said that, and explained, the main point of it is not to guard against the Divine Female Palace, but against the pill god who is in the Divine Female Palace. If you practice the heavenly alchemy, as long as he wants to, you have to be wary of him. Chen Shang nodded. Before I find out what kind of person the pill god is, it would be best if I don't expose myself, so I can't interact with Feng Yuji right now, right? LV Kilian shook his head. No, you have to think of a way to secretly contact Feng Yuji, only she knows the exact location of the pill god. I think that it's a little strange for the pill god to suddenly appear here, because I heard that the pill god has already left his daughter here for many years, he hasn't visited her many times. Chen Shang didn't know much about this pill god, he only knew that Yi Qin was his daughter, and that this pill god and the Divine Female Palace's hall master seemed to have an ambiguous relationship. Will Yi Qin be the daughter of the pill god and the Divine Female Palace's palace master? Chen Shang only heard what the black-robed old man said. No, Divine Female Palace's hall master cannot have children and partners, so it is impossible. Previously, Feng Yuji had told me about some of Divine Female Palace's matters, so it was just a rumor, but I suspect that the relationship between this pill god and Divine Female Palace's hall master is not shallow. Because Feng Yuji wanted to invite LV Kilian to join the Divine Female Palace earlier, LV Kilian took the opportunity to ask him a lot of things about the Divine Female Palace, so he understood more about these things. LV Kilian said, "Leave the matter of contacting Feng Yuji to me, you and Shui Yi will go find the cheap, middle-ranked and high-ranked divine medicine." Chen Shang and Long Shui Yi nodded their heads. They left the house and split into two, going to the medicine stores to inquire about the market price by themselves, to see if there were any cheap mid-grade holy medicines. The spirit orbs that Chen Shang and LV Kilian cultivated together could make quality inferior medicinal herbs become very good, so it could save them a lot of money. Divine Han Pill Shop, this is a pill shop, right? It seems like business is not bad. So many people are inside. Chen Shang passed by a shop that was decorated elegantly. It was a few stories high and had a very good seat. One look was enough to tell that it was not opened by an ordinary person. The moment Chen Shang entered, he saw a banner hanging on the wall, with the words, "Exclusive Secret Methods Special Price of Shengpin Holy Dan," written on it. The fact that the shop had Shengpin Holy Dan for sale showed that the shop had a good alchemy saint, which meant that the shop was very powerful, especially the Shengpin Holy Dan, which required unique secret pill formulas, and to obtain these pill formulas was not easy, one would have to pay a lot of money. These pill formulas were not allowed to be spread around as well. Once found, there would even be a punishment from the pill god, so in order to obtain the Shengpin Holy Dan's pill formulas, one would have to ask the pill god for them. The Heaven Holy Dan that we concoct with our family's secret recipe are acknowledged by many saints and gods. After eating it, they can strengthen their divine powers, and even profound God would have a good effect if they were to eat them. Chen Shang asked an old man what this unique Shengpin Holy Dan was and he got such an answer. The Shengpin Holy Dan had quite a few names, but this was because there were too many pill formulas, and many of them were similar, only the difference in their effects were different. If the Shengpin Holy Dan had outstanding effects, most of them would be very famous, and Chen Shang had heard of several of them. The famous Shengpin Holy Dan pill formulas were all developed over the years by some pill gods. Thus, not only were they precious, they were also extremely difficult to obtain. This Heaven Holy Dan has yet to be sold. We've already sold a few batches before, and there are a lot of people fighting over each batch. So right now it's just a promotional campaign, let everyone prepare some divine money. The old man said again. Chen Shang left the Divine Han store and went outside to ask around. He found out that the Heaven Holy Dan was not bad. After eating it, his divine power had become stronger, especially the ones that had weaker divine power, the effect was even more obvious. Heaven Holy Dan was not meant to increase one's cultivation or reserves of divine power, it was only meant to increase one's divine power, which was why it was very popular. Following that, Chen Shang also inquired about the origins of the Divine Han store. He never thought that it would actually be related to the eldest disciple of the God of Fortune. This disciple was someone Chen Shang was very familiar with, it was the Feng Shen, and the one who opened the shop was the son of Feng Shen, his name was Li Zonghan. After that, he also found out about an interesting thing, that was that Li Zonghan had come all the way here to open a shop, and his main goal was actually to woo the pill god's daughter, Yi Qin. Li Zonghan was very strong, he was a profound god and did not know how to refine pills, but he had called over 2 Dan Saint titles to take care of his shop, so other than the Divine Female Palace, his shop had the best business and earned the most money. A single Heaven Holy Dan costs 100,000, and each time, he would sell a batch for 100, but he would earn 10 million. Chen Shang exclaimed in his heart, it was indeed easy to earn money from selling high-ranked holy pellets, if I sold mid-ranked Lingguang Dan, it would probably only be 20 or 30,000 pellets. It would be extremely difficult to refine, and it wouldn't take much out of the pellet. It was not easy to refine a mid-grade saint pill. Even though it didn't require that type of secret recipe, it required a variety of mid-grade saint medicines. Refining it all together was extremely difficult. Refining a medial-grade holy elixir was as difficult as refining a Shengpin Holy Dan. The reason why Shengpin Holy Dan-s were a stage higher than medial grade, was because Shengpin Holy Dan-s required a secret recipe and some high-grade holy medicines. Chen Shang went to a few of the pill shops and found that all of the mid-grade divine medicines were relatively more expensive. Ordinary ones would cost more than 5,000, while the rare ones cost more than 10,000. At night, he and Long Shui both returned to LV Kilian's house and reported the price to him. The price of the pills have risen a lot. Maybe it's because the Hell Divine Palace fell. Long Shui said. I have asked a few people, and they say that they have risen a lot recently. Chen Shang asked. Why does it have to do with the fall of Hell Divine Palace? There's no reason. Long Shui stuck his tongue out. How do I know? In short, all these merchants have good reasons to increase the price, no matter what it is, because the price of the pills have been too low for many years, and the pill business people right now also have large amounts of pills, so they have colluded with each other to increase the price. LV Kilian shook his head. It shouldn't be like that. In the past, my Hundreds of Flowers Palace would need to slow down their sales because of certain circumstances, and in order to ensure a certain number of pills for sale, we would raise their prices by a large amount. For example, we are facing a huge war and need to consume a large amount of pills ourselves. Chen Shang frowned. Could it be that during this period of time, all of the pill sellers in the shrine are in urgent need of their own consumption of medicinal pellets? What the hell is going on here? LV Kilian said. I have already contacted Feng Yuji, she might come to my place tomorrow. I think she should be clear about what happened. Chapter 1836. LV Kilian had managed to contact Feng Yuji so quickly, which made both Chen Shang and Long Shui admire him a little. Feng Yuji's current situation isn't too good either, otherwise, based on her relationship with us, she would definitely come over to meet us immediately. However, she said that she wants to meet us tomorrow, and she's not even sure when tomorrow will be, which means to say, she has to be extremely careful when meeting us. This might be because of you. LV Kilian thought of many things, which were all her intuition. Seeing Chen Shang and Long Shui's serious faces, LV Kilian laughed lightly. Maybe I was just thinking too much. Don't worry, Feng Yuji's origins are not small, and now that he has the strength of a god, it can be considered as having quite the strength. Chen Shang, how are you going to use the divine money we have to earn more? Chen Shang sighed. I want to refine a Shengpin Holy Dan directly, but I don't have a pill formula. In terms of difficulty in refining, a Shengpin Holy Dan is the same as a mid-grade holy pellet. If possible, it would be better to refine a Shengpin Holy Dan directly. LV Kilian didn't just go out to contact Feng Yuji today, he also finished his homework on the Holy Elixir area, and said, refining the Shengpin Holy Dan-s will require at least 2 high-quality holy medicines and 3 mid-quality holy medicines to be combined to form the pellet, and the high-quality holy level S, one of the medicinal ingredients, will cost at least 20,000 spirit stones. Even with the recipe, the amount of medicinal ingredients needed to refine the Shengpin Holy Dan-s is at least 60 to 70,000 spirit stones. Chen Shang nodded his head. That's right, you don't have to worry about this little bit of money, as long as you have the pill formulas, these will not be a problem. LV Kilian said. The so-called pill formulas are all the different types of high-quality medicinal ingredients used to match each other, as well as the time between each medicinal ingredient entering the furnace, the amount of medicinal ingredients used, and the heat of the different medicinal ingredients when smelting. During this period of time, there is a coordination between them, so in a situation where there is no pill formulas, one would have to conduct many experiments to figure it out on their own. Chen Shang sighed, and nodded his head. That's right, when refining Shengpin Holy Dan, it isn't just any divine medicine that can be used to create a pill. If it's 5 top-tier divine medicines that have been combined to make a pill, it might not even be as good as a low-tier divine pill, but if there is a good pill formula, combined with a normal high-tier divine medicine, it would be much better than any other top-tier medicinal ingredients. Long Shui lied on the table and said, then how can I get the pill formula? Oh right, Feng Yuji seems to be able to refine Shengpin Holy Dan-s, when she comes tomorrow, I'll ask her. This was also Chen Zhang's previous plan. He asked Feng Yuji for it, and Feng Yuji definitely would not reject his request. It was already night. Chen Shang smiled evilly, and said, Sister Kilian, let's do some proper business. In a night time, we will be able to create many of those spiritual beads. Of course Long Shui knew what they were doing, and with a laugh, he entered Chen Zhang's ring. Chen Shang had already walked over, picked LV Kilian up, and walked into the room. Don't act recklessly. Just as LV Kilian finished speaking, Chen Zhang's hand touched the most sensitive part of her chest and even lightly kneaded it, causing her to yell out. Scoundrel, don't touch randomly. LV Kilian retaliated, he pinched Chen Zhang's body. Chen Shang and LV Kilian's divine soul had already been dual cultivated before, and that was only for divine soul. In real life, when LV Kilian came into such intimate contact with her, she was still a little not used to it. An entire night quickly passed by. To Chen Shang, this was extremely sweet and short. In his deep sleep, he was awakened by LV Kilian's shouts. Hurry up and organize everything, Feng Yuji will be here soon, you can't let her know that you and I are all ready. As LV Kilian looked at the tinge of captivating red on the snow-white bed, he lightly bit his lips. He couldn't help but recall the crazy and sweet scene that she had with Chen Shang last night, and it was truly unforgettable for her forever. Seeing that Chen Shang was still smiling evilly while looking at her beautiful snow-white body, she pinched Chen Zhang's nose fiercely. Hurry. Only then did Chen Shang slowly put on his clothes, and laughed. I never thought that after our true dual cultivation, the results would be so good. The condensed spirit pearl is still a crystal, we will have to use it more and more in the future. LV Kilian scoffed, she had already put on her clothes, and started to comb her hair. At the same time, she looked at the over 10 purple crystal beads on the makeup table, which were the spirit pearls condensed from the alive slain method that Chen Shang and her entangled together. It seemed that they were much better than the ones they had condensed previously. Chen Shang hugged LV Kilian from the back. At this time, LV Kilian was already his woman, and being able to completely possess LV Kilian made him incredibly satisfied, which made him love LV Kilian even more. Sister Kilian, I never thought that you would be so strict. Last night, I thought that you would be tormented to death, I never thought that you would be so gentle in your clothes. Chen Shang thought back to LV Kilian's tenderness, and only had an indescribable sense of tranquility in his heart. I love you to death. LV Kilian gently said. Enough, stop being so numb. Prepare yourself, don't let Feng Yuji see that you and I have already had that relationship. Chen Shang didn't understand why LV Kilian would do such a thing, and asked, why? LV Kilian lightly patted his head. Idiot, right now, I don't want too many people to know about the relationship between you and me. If Feng Yuji knew, she would definitely tell Munger and the others. There's no need to even mention that. Quote. Chen Shang laughed. I understand, my female emperor of divine nations doesn't want others to know that I am her husband. Long Shui laughed tenderly. Don't worry, even though I witnessed the entire process, I won't say anything. LV Kilian's jade face instantly flushed red. What, Shui can see it from inside, and, witnessing the entire process. Little girl, you're worse. LV Kilian was so angry that she couldn't say a word, she didn't know about this. Forget it, it doesn't matter. In any case, many things have happened between you and I. This little naughty dragon has always been a bystander. Chen Shang laughed. LV Kilian took a few deep breaths before slowly accepting it. There was suddenly a knock on the door. Feng Yuji had already arrived, so Chen Shang quickly tidied up and went out to welcome him. After opening the door, he saw a man wearing a black robe and a silver mask walking in. This was Feng Yuji, it was just that she had hid herself like this, as if to avoid being followed. She was this cautious even in her own territory, and it was just as LV Kilian had guessed before. Feng Yuji had encountered a few situations in the Divine Female Palace, causing her to be extremely cautious in her actions. After entering, Feng Yuji was still worried, he quickly waved his hand to lay down a few enchantments on the ground, and then took off his mask, revealing his extremely haggard face. Chen Shang secretly felt his heart ache, and anxiously helped her to sit. LV Kilian was the same, she anxiously asked, Sister Feng, what's wrong? Chapter 1837. Feng Yuji did not look like he was injured, it was just that he looked haggard, as if he had consumed too much energy. Chen Shang and LV Kilian waited for her to speak. She closed her eyes and took a few deep breaths before taking out a golden pellet and consuming it. I'm fine, I just used up too much of my divine power. Feng Yuji's voice was very low, and with a single glance, one could tell that she was very weak. Chen Shang asked, why would it be like this? You should be very safe in this city. Feng Yuji was now a god. If a god were to fight here, it would be known as long as they were in the city, unless they were in the space inside all divine palaces. Feng Yuji shook his head. No, I just used a secret technique, to not reveal myself. I have been monitored the entire time, so in order to see you guys, I can only use that secret technique. And LV Kilian looked at each other. Previously, LV Kilian had already guessed that Feng Yuji was in a bad situation in Divine Female Palace, but it seemed to be true. Is it that pill god? LV Kilian asked. Your current strength is not weak, even the more powerful god. I am afraid they are unable to threaten you. Feng Yuji shook his head again. It's not Dan God Yi, but a guy named Highest Devil God. He's inside Divine Female Palace right now. Hearing Highest Devil God, Chen Zhang's heart suddenly jumped. Highest Devil God believed that the Six Realms mirrors was stolen by Younger Nine Girl, and Feng Yuji and Younger Nine Girl were like sisters. That was why she was being targeted by Highest Devil God right now. This guy is looking for a treasure. He said that the Younger Nine Girl took the item away, and he thought that the Younger Nine Girl would come find me. That's why he has been keeping an eye on me. Feng Yuji said somewhat helplessly. Only now do I know that we have always been wrong about Younger Nine Girl. The May Emperor in Nine Heaven World was not Younger Nine Girl at all, he was only a substitute. This was all told to Feng Yuji by the Highest Devil God. Feng Yuji did not know that the Six Realms mirrors was with Chen Shang, and even more so did not know that Chen Shang had seen the Younger Nine Girl before. Now, Chen Shang would definitely not speak carelessly, because the Highest Devil God was monitoring him. Sister Feng, aren't you in danger now? Chen Shang asked. He wanted to keep Feng Yuji far from the Highest Devil God. Feng Yuji said, you don't have to worry about my safety. Highest Devil God still doesn't dare to kill me. If he kills me, he will face a great calamity himself. Chen Shang heaved a sigh of relief in his heart. He did not expect that the acquisition of the Six Realms mirrors would implicate Feng Yuji, which made him feel a little apologetic. LV Kilian did not know the background of the Highest Devil God, and asked, what is the strength of the Highest Devil God, to actually cause Feng Jia to behave like this? Feng Yuji sighed. This guy is too godly, he was enemies with the 9 divine kings since long ago, and in order to find a treasure, he controlled the Hell Devil Emperor. He said that he had already found the treasure himself, but the Younger Nine Girl took it away. Then, Feng Yuji told LV Kilian that there was something related to the Younger Nine Girl, and that it was equivalent to her younger sister, who still had no name. Chen Shang really wanted to tell Feng Yuji about the Younger Nine Girl, but he didn't dare to. He was worried that he would harm Younger Nine Girl and Feng Yuji, who knows if the Highest Devil God was actually nearby. Let's not talk about this anymore. It's great to be able to see all of you. I'm really happy. Feng Yuji's complexion had turned much better, and revealed a charming and moving smile. LV Kilian chuckled and nodded. Chen Shang asked, where are elder sister Munger, Shenxian and the others, have they come to God's realm yet? Feng Yuji laughed. Of course they came, it's just that they aren't in the Divine Female Palace. As soon as they arrived, they went to the Divine Weapon Hall. They went with Zhang Shang, probably because they want to learn something. When they went with Zhang Shang, Chen Shang was not too worried. They were able to come to the God's realm, so they already had a certain amount of strength. Sister Feng, the number of pills we have recently increased so much. Do you know the reason behind this? LV Kilian asked. This was something she and Chen Shang had always been suspicious about. Hearing LV Kilian's question, Feng Yuji let out a long sigh. The main thing is that the various divine pills have returned. Once this group of divine pills gather, the first thing they do is to compete and refine the divine pills. Moreover, refining the divine pills would require a large number of sacred pills as the formula. For example, refining the shopping dan, they say that there are at least 100,000 of them and there would be a lot of them. For these alchemy gods, refining pills is not as simple as just refining 1 or 2 pellets. Therefore, all the large and small alchemists in the hall are currently refining a sacred pellet for the alchemist. This was the first time Chen Shang heard that the divine pellet recipe required the help of so many divine pellets. Although Chen Shang wanted to go and take a look at refining the divine pills, he felt that he would not have the chance. Chen Shang laughed. Big Sister Feng, are you a pill god now? The last time you said that you were beginning to refine a divine pill. Seeing Chen Zhang's mischievous smile, Feng Yuji knew that Chen Shang had something in mind for her, and snorted, that's right, I'm a pill god now, but don't expect me to help you refine pills. I don't have time right now, I need to quickly raise my strength, I don't want to be closely watched by the highest devil god. Chen Shang laughed. Sister Feng, I just want you to give me some pill formulas, I'm going to refine the Shengpin Holy Dan now. Feng Yuji had fought with Chen Shang twice, and both times they lost miserably. Now that Chen Shang wanted her to give him the pill formulas, she couldn't help but laugh. Brat, aren't you very strong? You should be able to create your own pill formulas. Chen Shang curled his lips. Don't be so stingy, didn't I beat you twice before? Feng Yuji pouted. I want to be so stingy, who told you to not know how to give way to others, not to mention that I'm still a girl. Seeing Feng Yuji acting so coquettishly, Chen Shang was completely out of options. He looked at LV Kilian helplessly, causing LV Kilian to laugh softly. How do I get the pill formula? Chen Shang knew that he wouldn't be able to get the pill formula from Feng Yuji unless he bled a little. Feng Yuji's face was filled with a proud smile, and he giggled. You promised to refine 100 Shengpin Holy Dan for me, and I'll give it to you, but this is a mission given to me by the Dan God Yi, it's pretty tiring. If it was an inferior grade holy pellet, would have agreed without even frowning, let alone 100 or even 1,000. But this Shengpin Holy Dan was different. He had never refined one before, and if he was able to refine one in a few days, it would be extremely difficult to refine 100 of them. Chapter 1838. Right now, I can only refine Dragon Blood Saint Dan. If I want to refine 100 of them, I will need some time. You are now the second palace master and also a god of pills. Since you have so much divine money, you can just go and buy it. Chen Shang replied. Why do you think it's unnecessary? Feng Yuji laughed. Whether you agree or not, if you don't mind, Dan God Yi has designated that I am the only one to refine a Shengpin Holy Dan and I don't even have a pill formula for it. So I can only refine it myself. Feng Yuji already knew that Chen Shang had sold 3 Spirit Soul Dragon Blood Saint Dan here. His progress was extremely fast, so she believed that Chen Shang had definitely completed the task she had given him. Chen Shang calculated in his heart, and in the end, still agreed to it. A pill formula was not something that could be bought with divine money, otherwise the Dan God Yi would not need Feng Yuji to refine those Shengpin Holy Dan. Just leave the ingredients to me. I'll refine them within a year. Feng Yuji tossed a storage bag to Chen Shang, and then tapped Chen Zhang's forehead with his fingertip. Now, I'll give you the pill formula. This recipe is for the pill god king that was among the 9 divine kings back then. Chen Shang quickly obtained the pill formula. It seemed to be a little complicated, but it was not difficult for him. Sister Feng, doesn't this mean that you have a lot of good pill formulas? Chen Shang asked happily. Of course, but don't expect me to pass it on to you, because I promised him that some secret formulas cannot be passed on to outsiders. Feng Yuji stuck his tongue out and laughed. Chen Shang, if you want to become a pill god in the future, you must create your own pill formulas. The recipe for the divine pill must be even more complicated and precious. Chen Shang felt a headache just thinking about it. The Dan God Yi must have given you a lot of benefits, if not you would not have helped him refine the pills. Now, pass the hard work to me, the most satisfying of all will be you. Chen Shang said with a bitter face. Feng Yuji laughed. You have gained a lot from this task. If you don't believe me, go and ask about the value of my Shengpin Holy Dan's pill formula. If Dan God Yi wanted me to, I wouldn't even give it to him, unless he used a divine pill formula to exchange for it. She patted Chen Zhang's bitter face and said to him, I'm leaving now. If there's nothing important, it's best that we avoid meeting each other. I don't want the highest devil god to know that I have good friends here, I'm worried that it will affect you all. LV Kilian nodded. Be careful. After Chen Shang and LV Kilian sent Feng Yuji out, Chen Shang immediately took out a piece of paper to list the necessary holy medicines for the pill formula. Shengyuan Holy Dan. After consuming this kind of sacred pill, the main effect is that within 2 hours, the divine power will be strengthened a lot. Shengyuan Holy Dan. After consuming this kind of sacred pill, the main effect is that within 2 hours, the divine power can be strengthened a lot. Chen Shang exclaimed. This Shengyuan Holy Dan is pretty amazing, it can actually increase the strength of my divine power by several times, and there won't be any side effects. No wonder this recipe is so rare, I wonder how many times stronger it will be after I eat it. There are 2 high-grade elixirs, 3 middle-grade elixirs, and they are all very expensive. The high-grade elixirs are Fire Fang Grass and Bear Roar Flower, and the middle-grade elixirs are Weirdo Fruit, Berserker Fruit and Berserk Fruit. These 3 kinds of fruits are also called 3 saint fruits. Chen Shang listed the names of the medicinal ingredients. He naturally did not need to buy them now, because Feng Yuji had already given him 100 sets of medicinal ingredients. It did not mean that one would be able to create a Shengyuan Holy Dan just by combining these 5 herbs. The quantity of the ingredients, the timing of refinement, and the order in which the ingredients were sent to the furnace were all different. This was the most crucial aspect of the pill formula. If one knew what kind of medicinal herbs one needed, it would take a very long time even if one searched through them himself. In fact, one would never be able to find it. Only a small number of powerful pill gods could use their experience to quickly create the best pill formula based on the quality of the ingredients and combinations. LV Kilian took out a spirit orb, which she condensed when they were kissing. It was not the purple type that was the strongest when they were cultivating in bed last night. Let's try this first. LV Kilian took out a bowl of water and placed the silver pearl inside. The pearl quickly melted and the bowl of clear water immediately turned silver, like a bowl of melted silver. It was extremely thick. Chen Shang asked, Sister Kilian, according to your experience, how much fire fang grass can this bowl of spirit liquid replicate? LV Kilian shook his head. I don't know, I don't have any concept of divine medicine, let's give it a try first. She took out the flaming tooth grass. It was like a tooth, a fiery red color, like a tooth on fire. She carefully cut the flaming tooth grass in half and then put it into the bowl of silver water. The silver energy was completely absorbed by the fire fang grass. The fire fang grass that was originally split into 2 halves had now become 2 complete fire fang grass, and the quality was much better than before. So powerful. LV Kilian was a little surprised. That was a high-grade holy elixir. She and Chen Shang could casually kiss a congealed spirit clan cultivator, and she would be able to make a copy of a high-grade medicinal pill with just 1 pill. She was very satisfied with that. Chen Shang laughed. Try that purple one. The purple one is definitely stronger. After all, that's us, heh. LV Kilian snorted. He took out the purple spirit pearl and placed it into the water, which immediately released a purple light, and turned the bowl of water into a dense purple liquid. This should be able to change into 4. LV Kilian cut a stalk of flaming tooth grass into 4 uniform portions and placed it into the bowl. Not long after, the purple light spirit liquid disappeared and saw that there were 4 pieces of flaming tooth grass inside the bowl. LV Kilian laughed. The effect is really good. In the future when our strength increases, even if we copy some divine medicine, it will be very fast. It's a pity that this Shengyuan Holy Dan is not suitable for raising my cultivation. It's just that it can instantly release an explosive force. I have to get a pill to quickly increase my strength. Chen Shang could only complete this task temporarily, only then would he be able to get Feng Yuji to provide him with the pill formulas. LV Kilian nodded his head. I will copy a few pills for you to practice. These pills will not help us much in raising our strength, it will only temporarily increase its effect, so I will not copy too many of them. Although he did not have a good pill formula, Chen Shang was still very happy. Sister Kilian, I knew that our cooperation is the best, we will have to work together more in the future, cough, cough. Chen Shang now carefully analyzed the pill formula and memorized the difficult points. He had to avoid them as much as possible when refining it. According to this pill formula, you can only refine 1 medicinal ingredient per set, and you even have to intentionally put away a portion of the medicinal ingredients in order to succeed. The person who created this pill formula is too irresponsible. Chen Shang was a little unhappy. When refining pills, he would intentionally use up most of the amount of the pills, which would make him feel hurt. Chapter 1839. LV Kilian said. This pill formula is already like this, even if you are not happy, but what can you do about it? Do you still want to modify this formula? Chen Shang was very clear that the reason why he deliberately lost spirit pellets like that, was because he wanted to make a compromise with the success of the process. He had this thought in his mind, and wanted to change the pill formula a bit, but it was easier said than done, so he could only try to refine more, and familiarize himself with the Shengyuan Holy Dan's refining methods. Before Chen Shang refined one, he went to the pill furnace sale area and spent a few hundred divine coins to buy the weakest kind. After returning, he entered a small secret room and started to refine a Shengyuan Holy Dan. Chen Shang had a solid foundation to refine Lingguang Dan, and now that he had the complete Shengyuan Holy Dan's medicinal formula, it was relatively easy for him to refine. He only wasted a few medicinal ingredients and successfully refined a fairly good quality Shengyuan Holy Dan. This took him more than 10 days. Feng Yuji had only given him 100 sets of ingredients and he could only refine one pellet per pellet, so he could not fail multiple times. Otherwise, he would have to fill in the missing ingredients himself. After Chen Shang refined a few pills, he no longer had the mood to continue refining them, because in his opinion, if the rich medicine qi was not lost, at least one pot could have 3 pills. He had tried to preserve the medicinal energy and wanted to see how it would turn out. Unexpectedly, after he deviated from the general direction of the pill formula, he started to make serious mistakes and almost blew up the cheap pill furnace he had just bought. The infinite refining and Tai Chi are both useless. Because Chen Shang wanted to preserve some of the medicinal qi, he had refined a few more of them. I can only see if there's any way to make up for this problem in the heavenly alchemy. Chen Shang was not in a hurry to comprehend the heavenly alchemy at the moment. Instead, he had to first find the reason for his failure so that he could have a direction to go. After careful analysis, he found the reason for his failure. The main reason was that all sorts of medicinal qi would need a proper amount of energy to fuse together, otherwise it would explode. Even using Tai Chi to forcefully merge would not be possible, because all of these medicinal qi were relatively strong. Previously, Tai Chi could only be used to refine 2 or 3 kinds of pellets made from a single medicinal ingredient, but now, not only was there Shengpin Holy Dan, there were also several high-quality holy-level medicinal ingredients. Thus, the combined power of the pellets had already surpassed the control range of Tai Chi. If it was any other method used by the alchemist, it would be about the same. It would be difficult for them to control the explosive power of the medicine, so they could only weaken the medicine's qi, and once a certain amount had been gathered, the medicine's qi would actually be able to fuse together on its own accord. Chen Shang followed the pill formulas that Feng Yuji had given him and precisely controlled the amount of different types of medicinal qi. As long as they reached the standard of the different pill formulas, he would basically be able to succeed. If he didn't have the pill formula, he would have to try many times in order to get the proper quantity. He might not even be able to try it out. Chen Shang thought about it carefully, and said in his heart, if I can solve this problem, then I just need to know which ingredients to use to concoct the other pills, and I will be able to obtain the recipe. After solving this major problem, the order and timing of the medicinal herbs entering the furnace were no longer important. This was because this was also a step required to fuse various types of medicinal energies. Chen Shang believed that there was definitely a solution within the heavenly alchemy, one of the 4 great taboo magic, which was able to refine all things under the heavens. Previously, when Chen Shang encountered many difficulties in refining pills, he basically had to comprehend the heavenly alchemy and learn a few methods from it. Chen Shang, who was in deep thought, stayed in the secret room for 10 days without any results. After he came out from the secret room, he saw LV Kilian instructing Long Shui on something. Are you imparting the alive slain method to her? Chen Shang chuckled. What are you so happy about? Long Shui stuck out her tongue at him. She had learned it very seriously, and it seemed that she had learned it pretty well. LV Kilian rolled her eyes at him and asked, how many Shengyuan Holy Dan have you refined? When he asked about this, Chen Shang could not laugh, because he did not refine a single pill. I didn't concoct any pills. According to the method of concocting that pill, I don't have the slightest motivation. This is really too deceitful. Chen Shang sighed. Wait until I think about it carefully, whether or not I can find a new method from the heavenly alchemy. When that time comes, I won't be able to sullenly refine pills like this. If he were to refine according to someone else's recipe and waste so many medicinal ingredients, it would be a very sullen refinement for Chen Shang. Chen Shang often did not take the normal route of refining pills, and LV Kilian and Long Shui were very clear about this, so they could understand Chen Shang at this moment. I can't help much with alchemy. LV Kilian sighed. She could only encourage Chen Shang. It's fine, I'm very happy to be with you. Chen Shang laughed and walked over to pull her over. I'm covered in sweat. I'll go take a bath first. LV Kilian pushed Chen Shang away. Chen Shang smiled evilly and held her tightly, then carried her into the bathroom. Soon after, he heard all sorts of pouting and soft moans from LV Kilian. Long Shui also wanted to go in and join in on the fun, but she had some sort of worry in her heart, so for all these years, she hadn't been able to cross the final hurdle with Chen Shang, even though their souls were already filled with joy many times. After LV Kilian became the female emperor of the divine nations, he had to comprehend a method to refine pills that did not require a pill formula. This was a method that would make LV Kilian become a female emperor sooner rather than later. After entering the secret room, Chen Shang quickly immersed himself within the ocean of the heavenly alchemy's chant, quickly deciphering and understanding it, in order to find a solution to the problem that he was currently facing. The process of comprehending was very long, and Chen Shang did not notice the passage of time either. Very quickly, a month had passed. After using a month of time, Chen Shang also gained something. He finally discovered from the heavenly alchemy that there was a possibility of it being able to solve the problem he was facing. The origin is the same, and all the flowers and plants in the world grow by absorbing the essence energy from the world. The origin is the same, and all the flowers and plants in the world grow by absorbing the essence energy from the world. Chen Zhang's eyes lit up, and he rejoiced in his heart, which is to say, all of these strange flowers and plants are born from the same root. In this way, it's equivalent to having a blood relation. Chen Shang named it the original source refining. As long as he successfully found and combined all the S that had the roots of all the medicinal ingredients, it would be able to cause the spiritual energy of other types that were difficult to fuse with together. In this way, he wouldn't have to follow the pill formula. Chapter 1840. Chen Shang immediately took out a portion of Shengyuan Holy Dan's medicinal ingredients. He rested for a while to recover his spirit to its peak state, then he threw those medicinal ingredients into the furnace. This was the method for original source refining. According to the recipe, he would first need to place in the fire fang grass, refine it until it was about done, and then add in the other ingredients. In order to use the original source refining, one had to burn the medicinal ingredients to a certain degree at the same time, in order to be able to find the same spirit blood within the medicinal ingredients. Logically speaking, all of the medicinal ingredients had the same number of spirit blood S, and could very easily fuse together. The difficulty was finding the spirit blood, as well as pulling out its roots and fusing them together. If Chen Shang did not have the method inside the heavenly alchemy, and only knew of this principle, he might not be able to do it even if he used his entire life. This was also why the heavenly alchemy was so powerful. Chen Shang did not allow the 5 holy medicines to fuse together, he only smelted the 5 holy medicines inside the pill furnace, and also used his divine power to separate them one by one. In order to find the spirit blood, he had to smelt it to a certain degree. I should be able to cultivate it now. Chen Shang followed the chants and channeled his spirit power, then released it into the furnace. The divine power turned into spirit pupils, which were specially used to search for spirit blood S. This meant that he did not see any spirit blood, and needed to continue burning the herbs. At this moment, he had weakened the fire, and if he burned too much, he would also burn the spirit blood. However, this was the first time he had used it to look for a spirit blood. If he was familiar with these herbs and knew how strong the burn would be, he only needed to burn them for a short period of time in the future. Half a day later, what was originally a pitch-black source spirit eye, suddenly saw a flickering flame, like teeth. It's the spirit blood of the flaming tooth grass. He immediately stopped burning the flametooth grass and remembered to say the extent to which it needed to be burned. The next thing that appeared was a ripple-like light formed by the mist. This was the spirit blood of the bear roar flower. It was very easy to distinguish, and was somewhat related to the shape of these strange flowers and plants. The 2 high-grade divine medicine, spirit blood, appeared, and it was the first to appear. And the next 3 white silk things that appeared were the strange fruit, the brute force fruit, and the wild fruit, these 3 saint fruit spirit blood. He had already solved the difficult problem of finding spirit blood. What he needed to do next was carefully mix the 5 divine medicine spirit blood together. This required a very strong and very precise control. Chen Shang was the best at this aspect. At this moment, he released his divine power and carefully touched the 5 spirit blood S, using the heavenly alchemy's mental cultivation method to change his divine power so that his divine power would have the same special properties as the spirit blood S. This way, he wouldn't be met with any resistance. Through his source spirit eyes, he could see the 2 large hands formed by his god power carefully push and knead the 5 spirit blood S together. This process did not take a long time, and in just a moment, it was completed. It's done. Chen Shang closed his spirit essence, but there was no change to the interior of the furnace. The spirit blood could not be seen or felt, it was a very mysterious existence. He put away the divine powers that were separated by 5 medicine aura. The originally extremely repulsive 5 medicine aura fiercely collided together. There was no need to think about converging them together, as they were automatically and perfectly fused together. Seeing that, Chen Shang was extremely excited, because he had succeeded. All he needed to do was to use a normal method of refining the pill. Right now, I can use the Tai Chi refining and infinite refining to condense a core. I never thought that using the original source refining would have such a good effect, and after fusing with it, it would even produce so many medicine aura. I originally thought that I would only be able to condense 3 Shengyuan Holy Dan, but now it seems like there is still one more. The following steps were the same as refining other pills. He divided the large cyclone into 4 parts, and then used the infinite refining to quickly condense the pills. He was very satisfied with the results of refining 4 pellets per pot. He felt that it should not be difficult to refine a Shengyuan Holy Dan with spiritual light now. This was an extremely difficult task for many Dan Saint title. Even if they were to refine the pill god, it would take a long time and would even fail. However, to Chen Shang, this was as simple as refining a Dragon Blood Saint Dan. Other than that, there was another requirement to be able to refine a Shengpin Holy Dan. The more powerful Dan Saint title was able to refine a middle-ranked Holy Pellet with spiritual lights, and they would have to refine a Shengpin Holy Dan at the limit. Generally speaking, this meant that one could refine a divine pill. As long as one had the divine pill formula, they could begin to break through into the realm of the alchemy god. 100 Shengyuan Holy Dan S is way too easy for me right now. Chen Shang laughed heartily. After he refined 100 pills, there were still a portion of the medicinal ingredients remaining. With his previous successful experience, the later stages would become very easy. He didn't need to think about it too much as he could refine 5 batches a day. In a few days' time, 100 Shengyuan Holy Dan would suffice. Feng Yuji had given him a year's time, and he had already finished it long ago. All of these are mine. I have to deal with Feng Yuji frequently in the future, they can only do this since it's quite profitable. Before, Chen Shang thought that this was a quest that was difficult to complete, but now, he had tasted the sweetest part. I wonder how is the Spirit Soul Shengyuan Holy Dan? Chen Shang had already completed his mission, he planned to use the extra medicinal ingredients to refine high-grade Lingguang Dan. Shengpin Holy Dan with Spirit Light was a few times more effective than normal Spirit Dan, not 20 times more effective, but the effect was still pretty good, especially against Spirit Dan like the Spirit Dan, which could instantly increase one's strength. If it was a Spirit Soul Shengyuan Holy Dan, even if the Super Profound God ate it, it would still have a pretty good effect. Its power would definitely increase by 1 or 2 times, so it would definitely be expensive. Shengyuan Holy Dan were originally only effective towards lower and middle Profound Goddess, but if they had Spirit Light, then even Super Profound Goddess would be able to eat them, and it could even increase the strength of their divine power by 1 to 2 folds within 2 hours. It was extremely useful, especially when hunting powerful divine beasts. And after the lower and middle Profound Goddess ate it, the increase in power would also be a little higher than that of the normal ones. This Shengyuan Holy Dan only works for 2 hours, and we have to eat it at a distance of 12 hours before it's effective. Otherwise, it would be too heaven-defying. If I were to sell this, I will definitely make a huge profit. Chen Shang had already seen the divine money rolling towards him.